Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques.
Hulk.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good afternoon to you. How are you all doing today?
Definitely.
Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the live podcast show as well. We do know the Titans season is over.
Right.
We're still not over it either. Okay. It's like a bad breakup. It's like I did everything right and she still left me, right? That's how it feels right now. But yeah, but
Hey,
today's purpose, yeah, man.
You're right. Like you said, man, we got put out the dance too early and it happened. So it's like you said, still not over. Looking at these playoffs, I'm like, man, we should be there, but it kind of is what it is. Yeah, I mean, so definitely.
So the reason we're dressing, this way, I'm very studious. Today we are in class today. Today we are doing an end of the season report card on the Tennessee Titans. So I got my teacher gear on, my professor gear on actually. You have Professor Hawk and Professor Jacques. We are here today to grade the Tennessee Titans. Okay, that's the purpose. So we're going to go through every single position on the team, and we're going to give a grade to each one. And as well, we're wanting your feedback too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a composite score. Jacques is going to have a composite score, and you all are going to have a composite score in each section. So we, add your feedback and things. And at the end of it, we're going to see where we all graded out as far as the Tennessee Titans this season. Okay. Because Jacques, I'm still not over it, bro.
Hey, I know. Hey, we just got to bounce back, dog. But this is the end of the season. Still really no movement in that season. Like every other team is moving but us. So I don't know the deal with that. But man, definitely, man. Shout out to everybody in the comment section, man. Shout out to AZ Mick, Bill Kerr, Tayshawn, Chris Johnson.
Yep. What is good, folks? In charge ball all day. Tighten up. D. What's up, D? What's up, D? Games Lane. What's good? And you see what they talking about already, Arthur Smith, right?
Right.
Of course, being the head coach now of the Falcons. And then who did they bring over to be the defensive coordinator, man?
Dean Pease.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he's helping Arthur. I mean, I get what he's doing, but I mean, he still brought Dean Pease.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost is at that point. It is what it is, right? You gotta try. And they said, I read a report today that Vrabel tried. He did try. I mean, he tried to come and he tried to coast him out of retirement, but Dean is like, hey, I see something special over here. Let's help the young guy over here and Arthur Smith build something, maybe a championship. But Dean Pease would probably be one and done like he was with us. So,
yeah, that's right. I know Aaliyah had a song back in the day, dust yourself off and try again, right? Okay.
Exactly.
So that's a slogan I think Mike Vrabel should have put more into his repertoire in trying to recruit Dean Pease, right? If you guys agree with that, definitely put that in the comment section. But Dean Pease lives in Nashville. Mm-hmm. He's here.
Right.
He's 71 years old. And you're telling me now, that Arthur Smith can take you from Nashville to Atlanta. Now, I know, again, Atlanta and Nashville are right next to each other. But it's crazy. And, Jacques, thank you for letting me know, too, earlier as far as, letting me know about the fact that, he did reach out to Arthur to Dean Pease. And that's cool.
Right.
But, I just don't think he tried hard enough. Because it's like, look, man, we're 28th in defense, man. We're trying to make the playoffs. Here's $100,000 for 3 games. Let's go for it. You telling me Dean Pease wouldn't have got out of his couch to do that for $100,000, $200,000? We ain't got the money to do that? Yes, we do. Yes,
definitely. And there's other D coordinators out there that we need to look at. Like that, like I said, Todd Bowles. You got other talent out there, man. Go for it. I just don't know what's going on with what Vrabel's doing. And I'm trying not to put all the blame on Vrabel, but John Robinson runs the show as well, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, hey, there's no initiative being taken. There's no urgency, right? We know what urgency means. Hey, it's urgent to, hey, let's look at least get somebody in here for interviews. I don't even see reports of us doing that for the OC or the DC. I'm like, Vrabel, what are you trying to do, man? You trying to play Superman? Are you crazy? Do you want to tick off the Titans fans? Imagine not going into the season with an OC or a DC.
Exactly.
Man, I would lose my mind, man. I probably might go on this show and act a fool. Like seriously. So and hey, great comment by Games Lane. He said Verbal thinks he's Belichick. And I think
facts, no paper, sir. Yes.
I think he does think he's Belichick. Yo, King Isaac, what's up, brother? CJ2K. Hey.
What's good, gentlemen?
Hey, man, like you said, man, he thinks he's Belichick and you're not, man. You're not Belichick. Hey, stick to what you know, man. You are Vrabel. Create your own legacy. Create your own lane. Stop trying to be like the Patriots. And I think that's where the Titans and the Detroit Lions are trying to be. No, let's be the Tennessee Titans, not the Tennessee Patriots. Come on,
That's right. So, when I think about, Mike Vrabel and him being, not as passionate about maybe getting some help, man, I'll just be like, bro, really? Mike Vrabel? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs? We made the playoffs. We lost in the first round. Playoffs.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, we're the only team in the NFL that does not have an offensive and a defensive coordinator. I don't know if he's waiting for these teams that are in the playoffs now for that to happen. When their season's over. I'd like to maybe get somebody off the Tampa Bay defense. I like how they play ball. Tampa Bay's defense flies all over the field. I wish that's how we played. We don't play like that. We have talent, but I guess they know what they're doing. But right now, we are coordinatorless, if that's a word. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, man. So, well, folks, what we're going to do now, again, we're going to do our show. Again, this is the end of the season report card. We're going to break down every position, and we're going to give a grade upon what we think. Again, welcome to Titans University. Any school that you go to, at the end, will have a report card. You got to see where you have progressed, okay? And so we're going to start pulling out the report card now. We're going to pull it out, and then we're going to look to see where we are per position, okay? So, again, thank you for everybody that's on the show. I'm about to take these glasses off, man. It's time to get serious, folks. All right. So, class is in session.
Let's do it.
Class is in session, bro. All right. So, we're going to break down each position. First, Jacques, we got to go to the top, man.
Okay.
We got to go to quarterback. All right. As you all see, our quarterbacks for the season, Ryan Tannehill and Logan Woodside. Those are our quarterbacks for the season. And again, you guys can make your comments as well. We'll post them up here, especially on Super Chats. If you have that, we definitely post it up. So, Jacques, talk to me about the quarterbacks, man. What do you think overall as far as how they played in the 2020 season, man?
All right, so we go to Tannehill. Logan Woodside got a small portion of action, but we know Tannehill did his thing, right? Yep. Tannehill killed it, but he let us down in the playoffs, okay? Now, I can't hate him for that. But if we're going to go give a overall grade for the quarterbacks, all right?
Okay.
The quarterbacks, Ryan Tannehill. I know he did, 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Get an A, man. He get an A. Something that we haven't had here in a long time, in my opinion. And since Steve McNair, we haven't been this successful at quarterback. We thought Vince Young was the answer. We thought Jake Locker was the answer. We went through our ups and downs, Rusty Smith and all them. We thought Mariota was the answer. But Tannehill has come in and proved year 2 that he can come in and take us to the playoffs. Now, I want to see him get us and elevate us to that next level, but he gets an A from me. So what about you, Hawk?
So as far as the quarterback position, Jeremiah Robinson has an A, AZ Mick has a B. So for me, when I look at our offense, the quarterback position this year, I felt was very, very strong, okay? We finished in the top 5 in offense this season. We've made major progress on our offense versus last year in that regard, and a lot of it was him throwing the football. There was at one point in time, Ryan Tannehill was the best quarterback in the league from a statistical standpoint, right? From a quarterback rating and also from a completion percentage. Ryan Tannehill is actually overperforming my expectations, and I think that's a good thing. Yes, I do agree. His playoff performance was not there at all, made some bad decisions and things. And, if we had maybe a postseason report card just solo from that, then we'd probably be grading something different on the bell curve. But I will say right now, Logan Woodside didn't play. So can't really put him in this category. But I would say overall as a group, I'm actually going to give the quarterback position for the Tennessee Titans in the 2020 season an A-.
All right, give him A-. Nice.
Yep.
So you got a minus, I got an A. That's cool.
Okay.
Hey, we there.
All right. Let's see what is okay. King Isaac has an A. West. We got Jacques. Let me see here.
We got Games Lane says A-.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Bill Kerr A-.
Matt Robinson got an A.
Yep.
He got hell over with an
A-. Okay. Ryan did make some mistakes. King Isaac, we do agree with that. Yep. That's why I got him an A- because he did make some mistakes.
Right.
But I guess I didn't think Ryan Tannehill would be like an Aaron Rodgers. I mean, for what he did, I'm just kind of like, wow, I didn't think he'd come in doing this, right?
I agree. Like you said, he overachieved. Great point, bro. He overachieved. Yep. My boy Brian Grove in here. What up, Grove? Got him an A-. Got him an A-.
An A-, okay.
In charge ball, got an A. JS75 got an A-. So we all on the same page.
We all on the same page.
Not bad.
Good stuff.
Not bad.
All right. So it looks like moving from the quarterback from a composite score standpoint, Ryan Tannehill in the quarterback position, they get an A-. Great job, quarterbacks. All right, our next position group, running backs.
Nice.
Running backs.
Nice.
So we were the number 2 run offense in the league. So you have Derrick Henry, you got Darrington Evans, Jeremy McNichols, and Deontay Foreman. These were all the guys that had carries for us in the 2020 NFL season, Jacques. Okay. So what you think, Jacques?
Well, this position group was consistent. Okay. When Derek got rest, Darrington Evans came in when he needed to. He was pretty solid for the Detroit game. I think it was what's his name? Texas running back Foreman. Foreman ran pretty well. McNichols ran pretty well. So for this group alone, D. Henry, of course, takes the weight. There's not too many human beings that can run for 2,000 yards. Thanks. Hey, this position group gets A+. A+ for me. Okay. For the running back position. Like I said, for me, when I grade for consistency, right? What did you do through the whole year, right? Yeah, he had some hiccup games here and there, but he still ran for 2,000 yards, people. 2,000 yards, okay? So for me, A+. What about you?
So, Jacques, I'm going to give that same sentiment, and I think everyone else on here is saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. JS75, A+. We got Chris Hart, A+. King Isaac, A+. Damon Beverly, A+. The Hulk, Professor Hulk, A+. This was the best spot for us on offense this year, was our running back position. Again, Derrick Henry being a 2,000-yard rusher, arguably, he won Offensive Player of the Year, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick Lamar Henry Jr., right? Derrick Henry had an unbelievable season, and we should appreciate what he's done for us this year, man. He really had a great season. There's no question we get an A+ at the running back spot. Again, top 3 all season in running the football, ended up number 2 overall. This probably was our strongest spot. I'm going A+. No question about it. So right here we have a composite score. We got, let's see, in charge, Vol all day, A+. Comment God, A+.
It don't surprise me. Hey, I mean, if you get this a B or an F, I don't know what you look. Now, I know Game Lane said people say he ran against bad defenses.
Oh, where's it? Oh, let me see. Where's that at?
Okay. There you go.
All right. That's what every running back does. Exactly.
Well,
we had good run defenses we went up against.
We did. Chicago.
Yep. The Ravens. The
Bills. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's hard to run for 1,000 yards, but even 500 yards, but let alone 2,000. It takes guts, man. It takes guts and grit.
That's right, Jacques. All right, so our next position group. These guys, the wide receivers. Arthur Juan Brown, who just had surgery on 2 knees. All right, so wide receivers. We have A.J. Brown. We got Corey Davis. We got Adam Humphries, Khalif Raymond, Cameron Batson, and Nick Westbrook. All right, so Jacques, let me tell you about these wide receivers.
Talk to me.
I actually am very proud of how they played this year, man.
Me too.
I think they did an unbelievable job this year. Again, I think they superseded expectations as well, too. I think as well that our wide receivers, we almost had 2 receivers that had over 1,000 yards. A.J. Brown went over 1,000 yards, and he made the Pro Bowl. You look at Corey Davis, contract year, over 900 yards receiving as well. Corey Davis did a great job. Adam Humphries did well when he was playing. When Cameron Batson's number was called, he always made the play. Not too happy upon, say, Khalif Raymond this season. Nick Westbrook as an undrafted rookie played very well. I think, again, just like the quarterback position, even the running back position, I think they overdid themselves and did a really good job. So I'm giving the wide receiver group an A.
Okay.
An A.
Okay.
Yep. What about you, Jacques? We got some B's up in here.
Like you said, AJ Brown, second year in a row, people. 1,000 yards, 1,075. Corey Davis, 984 yards. Okay. Like you said, when Humphrey was in there, he was possession receiver. He was doing what he was supposed to do until he got hurt. That dirty hit, that was a dirty hit. Nick Westbrook, like you said, he's underrated. I think he should get some more PT time. Cameron Batson show what he can show. So for me, like, I'm with you, man. When you got a group that underperform, well, that you don't expect to overachieve, the wide receiver group and the quarterback go hand in hand. Why do you think Tannehill do for 3,800 yards, right? Why do you think AJ got 1,000 yards? It's not easy. So for me, I give him an A. I give him an A as well, Hawk.
Okay.
And we haven't had this consistency with our wide receiver group in a long time. So hey, A plus, man. A plus for me. Now, what I would like to see going forward is I would like to see them step up in big games, quote unquote, the playoffs, right? Yes. I would like to see them step up in big moments, right?
Facts, no paper, sir.
That's what I would like to see for them going forward. That's where AJ Brown, I feel like he'll elevate. I know he has surgery on both knees, man. That's rough, man.
That is rough.
Hopefully he comes back healthy. Okay, guys, let's just pray for that. But what I've seen from Corey finally came alive. He just kind of died out and fizzled out through the latter part of the season when we actually needed him. Just imagine in that playoff game if Corey could have pushed through that injury. But I just feel like Corey's not going to be the same Corey going forward. So for me, position group, it's an A plus.
A plus. Okay, A plus. Okay, cool.
Well, so we got take out the plus. I said A. My bad. It's
A.
A.
Okay,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So Chris Harp says the receiver's the best we've seen in Tennessee forever. Chris, can we agree with you, sir?
Yep,
can we agree with you, good brother? We totally agree, sir. So we have a lot of A's and B's. So I'm going to say this. Zoe says B, some drops at the end. That's true. So I'm going to give them a composite score based upon our comments and also what folks are saying here in the chat.
Okay,
we're going to give them a B.
That's fine.
Well, no,
that'll work.
A B. We'll give them a B plus.
That's B. That B plus because, like you said, if we're going composite. If we're going all around, B plus. Right.
B plus. Yep. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. So
the meat and potatoes.
Exactly. We need to get Bill Curtis. We gotta get another number 2 receiver. We do agree with that.
I got somebody for that. I sent you to him, Hawk. I think I like the young man, but we'll talk about that another time. So
okay,
sounds good. So I don't know, but
all right. So our next position group, the tight ends.
Okay.
All right. We got Jonnu Smith, Anthony Ferkser, Jeff Swain, and Michael Pruitt. All right, Jacques. Talk to me, Jacques. What's good? What do you think about these tight ends, bro?
So with the tight end group, it's kind of not fair because Taylor Lewan went down, and a lot of them did have to fit in and get in at a block. Shout out to Tooth Tone for bringing that to everybody's attention. Salute to you, brother, but that's facts. Until he said that and I started paying attention, I'm like, you know what? That makes sense that they're having to have extra men in there to help the left tackle position out. So for that, the numbers wasn't flashy. But when they were called to block, when they were called to catch in big moments, they did it, okay? We were looking for the elevation of Jonnu Smith, but it didn't happen because he had to sit there and block, right? So when I look at Swarm come in, when I look at Michael Pruitt, when I look at Jonnu, when they had to catch the ball, they caught the ball. So for me, it's a B. Just on that sentiment there. I was going to give him a C, but I said, you know what? They pass protect pretty well. They caught the ball. Swarm, when John Newell, Michael Pruitt go down, Swarm comes in, he's catching. I mean, it wasn't no real big drop-off. So for me, it's a B. What about you, Hawk?
So I'll say this, man, and I'm looking at the comments here. We got Jeremiah Robinson with a B, CJ 2K with a C+, King Isaac with a B, James Lane with a C, Damon Beverly with an A. So, Jacques, again, I have it written down here. I don't know the grade report you have or anything. I have my own right here. I totally agree, sir. I'm giving the tight ends a B. You got to look at it like this.
Wow.
This was the year that Jonnu Smith was going to break out, right?
Right.
And again, the fact that, we had to run the football, and that's what we did. And our tight ends was a major part of that. Derrick Henry just didn't. Good call, Damon Beverly. He didn't get just say 2,000 yards just from walking in the park. Everyone had to do their part.
Yep.
We had 4 or 5 different offensive lineman group, in each game, right? So the one thing that was consistent was tight end. And sometimes you have to ask for them to block and for the receivers to step up. When Jonnu Smith's number was called to catch the ball, he did that. Now, again, you're looking at Anthony Ferkser, right? Like, Ferkser made some big plays, dude. Ferkser can catch the football, okay? And again, he was undrafted. So it's like, it's like he's overachieving. Jeff Swain, like, who is this guy? He comes in, he's doing a good job. Michael Pruitt, a super blocker. He'll be in the league for 10 years just on that alone, right? So I'm giving the tight end group, I'm giving them a B. I totally agree. They could have done more catching the ball, but that wasn't the purpose this year, man. We were not a spread offense. So they had to block. That's what they had to do. So, So,
hey, Zoe, we getting to that.
Yep, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We're getting to that. We'll get into that. So, looking at the grades here, we got some A's, we got some B's, we got some C's. I'm going to say from those that have commented, I think they agree with us overall from a composite score of B.
B.
Yep, a B. Totally agree. All right. So, next position group that we have, the big uglies. The offensive tackles. So these are our tackles: Taylor Lewan, Dennis Kelly, Ty Sembrello, David Quisenberry, Isaiah Wilson, and Marshall Newsome. All right, these were our offensive tackles. So let me give you my breakdown on this, Jock.
All right, let me hear it.
All right, so this was a position group when Taylor Lewan went down that I thought was going to be really bad for us, right? I'm like, man, dude, we just lost one of the best tackles in the league, right? And early in the season. And when he was playing, he did very well. He was doing well. And so when he went down, I was like, damn, man. And so we bring in Ty Sembrello. We didn't miss a step.
Nope.
We didn't miss a step. Ty Sembrello was balling.
Didn't miss a beat.
A few games he played, maybe a game or two, wasn't many. But for what he did a great job. Then he gets hurt. So we signed a third-string offensive tackle. He's third string for a reason. And he did a pretty good job for what he was asked to do. And he played the majority of the season. So Dennis Kelly, who we ended up keeping, we did let go of Jack Conklin, who Jack Conklin had a hell of a season with the Browns. He was first-team All-Pro, folks. I don't know if y'all know that. Jack Conklin was unbelievable. But in saying that, and Bill Kerr, I totally agree, sir. Like, I miss Taylor Lewan. Like, Taylor Lewan is a hell of a lineman. But despite the injuries at offensive tackle, we made the turn. And we still was number 2 in the league in rushing. So for me, I think the only issue is Isaiah Wilson. He was the issue. Isaiah Wilson. This group would have had an A+ for me. So I'm scoring him down like Comic God said. I'm giving him a B, man. I'm giving him a B. B on the dot because of Isaiah Wilson. What about you, bro?
So for me, I mean, like you said, we didn't miss a beat when Taylor Lewan went down. Sembrello came in here, man. And if he's not signed to a long-term deal with us, we need to sign him tomorrow, or at least make that priority. You don't have to break the bank for him, but sign him because he's good depth. We need him, right? Because if he goes somewhere else, he's gonna start. Then he goes down, like you said, Quisenberry came in. Henry ran for 2,000 yards on a makeshift line, right?
Yep.
2,000 yards on a makeshift line. That's not easy to do, okay? So for me, they get a B. They get a B, just like you said with Isaiah Wilson. But I'm going to even say this. Tannehill wasn't on his back as much.
That's fact.
He sacked a lot?
Nope.
Was he sacked a lot?
Nope. That's what Chris Clark even said. Sacks were down this year. That is a fact, sir.
Sacks were down. Henry ran for 2,000 yards. He was upright, right? We know Tannehill gets the ball out a lot quicker, but still, it makes it a difference when you get the ball out quick and you got offensive linemen that can block. We play some pretty good defensive line, guys. Remember that. Yep. But Isaiah Wilson, man, he was supposed to be when Kelly, or if Taylor Lewan goes down, you kick Kelly to the right. You have you kick Kelly to the left, Isaiah to the right, and you got your offensive line, right?
Yep.
Facts. That way, you're really not gonna miss a beat. You're not going to miss a beat, right? That's why we kept Kelly, was his durability and his diversity. He can play all across the line, man.
Right.
So for me, it's a B just because of Wilson, and I just hope the young man gets it together. I seen an Instagram post about 2 weeks ago. He's still partying, man. This dude is crazy. Man. I don't know what's wrong with him, man.
Dude, he was, dude. I was checking, man. You showed me the. I was like, you got to be kidding me, dude.
Yeah,
I was
he's still partying,
like,
man.
I even hit the X button. I said, I'm not even watching this bull crap.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Before Titan said B run block, C pass block. That's pretty decent. Maybe. They blocked
I still say the pass blocking was good, man.
I agree.
For what they were working with. I mean, they were better than last year.
That's right. Well, most people on here that I've seen has been a mix of B plus and B. So we're gonna go B here. We're gonna go B. So okay. So right now we're kind of on the same page right now, and I get it. I have it written down. Facts with paper. Okay. It's written down. So okay, cool. Okay. All right. So next position group, we're still at the big uglies. We're combining the offensive centers and the guards. We have Roger Saffold. We have Nate Davis. We got Ben Jones. We got Jamil Douglas. And we have Aaron Brewer. All right. Doc, what you think, bro?
So for the guards, man, they did pretty good. I mean, they blocked. Like I said, we go back. I mean, it's the offensive line. I mean, the middle, that open middle, Nate Davis, man. Year 2, Nate Davis has showed out. Okay. Nate Davis has showed out. Okay. Brewer came in for a couple of snaps and he showed out. Saffold had a good year. Ben had a good year. And people remember, we wasn't that penalized on the offensive line. It was very disciplined. So for me, with that group, they get a B plus. Get a B plus for that group. What about you?
So I see a lot of people putting B's, A's. Nate Davis, that's right, was the real deal. Saffold. Okay, so let me tell you about me, man. Mm-hmm. Besides the running back group, for me, I felt that this was our strongest group on the team in the interior line. Okay, Ben Jones was unbelievable. Nate Davis was unbelievable. And D, I don't know if you're still in the comment, but D, I totally agree about Nate Davis. Nate Davis was a beast. Mm-hmm. Roger Saffold was a beast. Yep. These guys were middle maulers, okay? And even when Jamil Douglas had to play, fill in and things like that, he did an incredible job. When you look at, the entire team as a whole, I felt that the interior line is where we had our best. And some of Derrick Henry's biggest runs, even Jerry McNichols, Deontay Foreman, was in the middle, okay? Yep. And we were playing some stalwart defenses in the middle. And I felt that overall, we held our own. So I've seen maybe one or two people say this. For me, I'm giving an A plus, dude. Nice. I'm giving an A plus to our centers and guards. Not a lot of penalties, not a lot of bad snaps. Everything was pretty copacetic the entire time. So I'm giving the center guard position an A plus.
Nice.
Yes.
Hey.
So looking at folks here, let's see, we got Cedric Bowman with a B, AZ Mick, a B, In Charge Vol all day, an A. Okay. So I want to say a B for everyone there. So with my A plus, your B plus, and the B, we'll say B plus.
All
right, cool. All right. So now,
the meat and potatoes.
About to get to the defense. Oh boy, get your gloves ready and everything, man. Get your gloves ready for real, man.
Popcorn.
Yeah, defense. So the defense. So all year long, Jacques, I'm sitting there watching the game when we're on defense, looking like Lamar Jackson right here. Right? You mad, bro? You still mad, Raven fans? Y'all beat us, but y'all on the couch like him and us right now.
Man.
But, our defense. Let's get to it. All right, so looking at our defense, the first positions we're going to look at is defensive nose tackle.
Oh, man.
All right, so we have Daquan Jones and Teair Tart. All right, these were our nose tackles that played the majority of the season. So, Jacques, I'm going to tell you about what I think here.
All
right, so when you look at our D tackle, their number one goal is to control the middle, control up front, right? Whether it be team running on us or controlling it where we can get some sacks, or even themselves can get sacks, right? You look at Teair Tart, who was an undrafted rookie, actually where maybe we'll talk about some of the best rookies we had this season, which isn't saying a lot. Teair Tart might be the top rookie. As crazy as that
he might be. He might be,
and I think he'll be here for a while. He's a big wild
dude. I agree too.
Daquan had his moments, especially in the run game. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you guys realize our run defense was very good this season.
Yes.
Better than what you think. For real.
Yes.
It's our pass defense was the problem.
Yep.
And our pass rush defense as well. But when I look at Daquan Jones and I look at TITANS, I don't see pass rush and D tackles. I look at them for what they are, right? Plug holders. There were times they didn't do well either. And TITANS was inconsistent. Daquan Jones, there were some games I didn't even know Daquan even played, and he had more snaps than anybody. So I'm not going to fail him, but I will give them a C because of run stopping, which they did pretty well. Outside of that, it was average. So what about for you, sir?
So for me, hey, like you said, they're not. That's their job is not to sack the quarterback. We got spoiled with Jarrell Casey, right? We got spoiled. Like, we're spoiled as Titans fans, literally. So defensive tackles, if I'm building a team, my defensive tackles is there to stop the run, stop the middle, plug the hole. That's what we do, right? Yep. I'm not expecting you to get sacks. When you get a sack, hey, it's a win. It's a huge win, right?
Yep.
So for me, and I swear to God, Hawk, I'm not looking at your paper, man.
Okay.
But I'm giving it a C, dog. I'm giving it a C. Okay. Just off of that, we're able to stop the run. With us stopping the run like that, and our run defense being pretty solid, it's a C for me. When I look at those two, and like you said, Daquan Jones is so inconsistent. I would rather have shipped him out and kept Casey versus that. And I know they want the youth and getting young and everything, but nah, man. For me, it's a C. That's funny, man. That's crazy.
That is.
That's hilarious.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of C's on here too. C. We got one that was a D. Somebody graded them a Z. CJ2K. Woo! Z minus. Woo! Wow.
I didn't know that was a grade.
That is. So I think those that are commenting as well, I think they have a C. So we'll give them a composite score of a C.
C. That's cool.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So next position on the defense. These guys, the defensive ends. Jeffrey Simmons, Jack Crawford, Matt Dickerson, Larrell Murchison. Jock, talk to me, brother. I got to hear this.
So early in the season, Jeffrey Simmons was balling. Jeffrey Simmons was a beast. But when the season progressed, he continued to climb down, right? Yep. When Jack Crawford, ironically, when he was in the game, he was making plays. He was sacking the quarterback and everything. I just don't know why we didn't play him as much. Larrell Murchison, trash, okay? Yep. And who else did we have on the plan?
Let's see. Let me go back to it. We had, defensive ends, Jeffrey Simmons, Jack
Matt Dickerson. That's ridiculous. He didn't really do too much. So for me, with this group, like I said, they're good at run stopping, but we're asking them to do too much when you're trying to sack the quarterback. So for me, they get a D.
Okay.
They get a D. This group gets a D. Okay. Yeah. Just off the fact that they digressed. They digressed. I mean, it wasn't nothing where they were progressing. They were digressing. So for me, D.
Okay, cool. So if I showed you my paper, I would show you the same thing. Okay, it's right here. It's all the grades are right here. Everything is right here. Okay. I'm writing down what you have and what also those that are making comments down. That's what I'm doing.
Hilarious.
But I'm giving the exact same grade, D. Okay. We have a lot of people and 242 Titans. He said D, but Jeff was tired and overworked. Okay.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
He's got to overcome that. We got to find ways to, because Big Jeff over the last 8 games, he was at an F level. Okay. Games like F.
Chris Hart, great point. Scheme hurt this group. I agree.
It did, Chris Hart. Facts.
I agree.
That's the issue. It's scheme. Yep. Mm-hmm. We're having these guys aren't deep defensive end. These are deep tackles.
Yep.
Ain't nobody coming around the corner with these guys, man. Even in a 4-3, they're still inside guys. Yep. And we have these guys have no speed at all, right? Nope. Yes, I like Jeffrey Simmons. Yes, he's the best DN that we have, right? But overall, this group was piss poor on the field. Right. No sacks, no tackles for losses, or anything. Right. Honestly, I want to say D minus, but I'll give them a D because, again, the rush defense was pretty good, and they was a part of that. You know what I'm saying? They really was. So I'm giving this group a D as well. So looking at everyone's comments, I see a lot of Fs, a lot of Ds. I'm going to say I'm going to say the folks that are commenting I'm going to give them a D- based on what they said. So composite overall, we're saying a D. We're on the same page, bro.
That's what happens. Page. That's what happens, Chris Harp, when you don't have a defensive coordinator.
Facts.
That's what happens. I mean, you shooting the gaps, schemes. Yep. I mean, stunts, twists. Let's go.
Yep, that's right. And JS75, this is what we've been saying the whole time. Man. We have the wrong personnel for a 3-4, run a 4-3, run a 4-3. We need more space on the interior. That is correct. Yep. So, all right. Our next position on defense, outside linebackers.
Man.
Hot. Woo, woo.
What they say, oh, in the water.
Man, tell me about it, man. Praise the Lord. Woo!
Terrible.
Harold Landry, Jadeveon Clowney, who was that? Oh, Vic Beasley. Sorry. Right. Derek Roberson, Wyatt Ray, Brooks Reed. Jacques, you ready?
I am. Go ahead, Hawk. Or you want me to go? I don't care. Shoot the gap. Do what you got to do.
I was talking to my daughter today, and she was having school. And we were looking at the word finish, right? The word finish. And when I think about the word finish, there's two words I think about when I look at the defensive, the outside linebackers for the Titans. One, something that they never did. And what letter does the word finish start with? An F. An F. An F. A flat F. I don't need to say none of that. What else does there need to be said here? Vic Beasley was probably the worst free agent we've ever signed. Jadeveon Clowney played a few games, got hurt.
Yep.
We had no sacks at all, undisciplined, lost contain every time. I mean, just terrible. Our outside linebackers, except for Harold Landry. Harold Landry is the only reason why they're not an F-. Okay, I thought he played hard. He played more than any player on defense in the front line, so I give him credit. But I think this is the worst group probably that we've had this season was our outside linebackers. A flat freaking, I want to say another word, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say a flat F. What about you, bro? Man, they was trash, bro.
Man, I mean, like I said, again, I'm not looking at your paper, but if I can give them a no grade, I give them an NA, not Africa. Okay, NA. That's how trash you are. You remember when you wouldn't go to class, you drop out of when you was in college, you drop out of your class 2 or 3 weeks early, and you get that W. I mean, horrible, man. I mean, this is the group where you want your sacks to come from, right? Yep. This is the groups where you want them to have 8, 9, 10, 11 sacks, right? Yep. Remember when we had that pair of Derek Morgan and Arakpo, and each player would get 8 sacks apiece, and we were still complaining. We're like, man, we ain't get no sacks. Man, I missed them days. Okay, I missed those days. Derek Roberson, he was, when we got our sacks in the playoffs in the last couple of games from Brooks Reed. Brooks Reed.
He had more sacks than all them guys. He played a half a game, bro.
Brooks Reed, okay? That, like I said, this all comes back to scheme and not having a defensive coordinator. Of course, we know that, but personnel comes into play too. And when you don't have nobody opposite of Harold Landry, then that's what happens. Now, remember, when Jarrell Casey was here and Harold Landry was on the other side, he had like 9 sacks, right? He wasn't consistent, but he had at least 9 sacks, okay?
Yep.
That's just the dumbest thing I think you can ever do and we'll get to the coaches. Oh my God. But definitely an F. And if I could, like I said, I'll give them a doggone NA. Like this group was horrible. And Vic Beasley, I mean, he needs to retire, man. I mean, football is just not in it. He's not, he don't want to play football no more. He's just here to get a check, which I understand. Get your money, young man. I get it, but don't take up space. And we paid this man. He robbed us, okay? Facts. He robbed the Titans.
Facts.
He robbed us. And then JD came in and he really, I mean, we said it at the beginning of the season, people. He's not a sack artist. He's there to stop the run. But even with him, he over pursued sometimes. He wasn't in position. So for me, man, they get an F, dog.
Okay. So looking at those that are commenting now, definitely F. F minus. I actually give them an F minus. So overall for this group, an F. We're on the same page, folks. We are. This is not a scripted thing. As far as me knowing what he has scored and what I have had as well, too. You know what I mean? And this was a rough group, bro.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
Yes, it
folks,
was.
we were number 28th in the league in defense. So let's not get that twisted. We were the worst defense in the playoffs going into this. And this was the main reason, if you ask me. So, all right, our next position group, the inside linebacker, the inside guys. Rashaan Evans, Jayon Brown, David Long Jr., Darren Bates, Will Compton, and Nick Dunzenbar. Talk to me, Jacques.
Man, with this group, it was I really debated in my mind going back and forth with two grades with this group because of the play of Jayon Brown when he woke up. He was killing it, man. He was killing it, right? But the play of Rashaan Evans put this group back. It put it back, okay? So for me, I'm not finna hurt them too bad. I would like to see this group be a lot more wilder, right? A lot more crazier, a lot more like the Tampa Bay linebackers, like the LA Rams linebackers. We just don't have that, right? But I gave this group a C, okay? I gave this group a C just off the play of David Long Jr. and Jayon Brown, right?
Yep.
Rashaan Evans, man, he cost us penalties. He's cost us some games, right? When Dunzenbar, he's a special teams guy. Compton, he's good at stopping the run. But this group was just so inconsistent when it came down to certain things, right? So for me, I gave this group a C just off of Jayon Brown and David Long Jr.'s play from when they were playing. So Jayon came in, he was doing his thing until he got hurt. And then David Long, it took him time to get some snaps in. But, I mean, the young man balled out. What about you?
Jacques, man, I'm going to tell you this. You almost had me erase a score here, based on what you were just saying, man. But this is how I look at this. Jayon Brown and David Long are in the same spot. When Jayon Brown got hurt, David Long filled in for that spot. So it's not two different spots. It's one spot, okay?
Right.
They did a great job, both of them. David Long and Jayon Brown, both fifth-round picks, right? So they, again, are overproducing to where Jayon Brown is going to get a nice contract next year. Somehow, here, somewhere else, he'll get that based on his play. I really like how they played. For them, they played pretty decent. I'm not going to say great, but they played decent. When I look at great, look at James Lane's comment. Tampa's inside linebackers or something else. That is a fact, sir. Mm-hmm. That's the type of linebacker play that I'm looking at for my inside linebackers. And you would think with Rashaan Evans being a first-round pick, that the type of size that he has and how crazy he is, because he's got the mental to go wild. Mm-hmm. But it just didn't happen. He was on chill mode. He looked lost. He didn't make plays. I don't think he made an interception. I don't know how many tackles he had. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I guarantee his name it's not probably in the 80 range, probably 70 range. Right. I felt the inside linebackers play was terrible this season. I do. Mm-hmm. Darren Bates didn't play much. He was on special teams. Nick Dunzenbar just played this last game. You know what I mean? He was a free agent or whatever. So no one filled in to change this dynamic. Yes, David Long did because of an injury to Jayon Brown. David Long is good, but could David Long start for a lot of other teams at inside linebacker? I don't know. That remains to be seen. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I gave this group a D. I gave them a D. I do see, Bill Kerr agreed. A D. Facts. Comic God, C. So we have a lot of C's in it. So, this probably could measure up to a C. That's probably correct. Right. But I felt that because our front line did a decent job in the run defense, that our linebackers should have just been wild. And it didn't happen. Right. It just didn't happen. It didn't. You know what I'm saying? And, no pass rush even. I mean, no blitz. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, it could just be scheme. But I felt that they played at a D level. Rashaan Evans did not play at all to his capabilities. And that's why I'm scoring him so low, because I expect more from Rashaan Evans. He expects more from himself, too, and he knows that. So I'm saying a D. So it looks like most people are
Steve. Yeah.
So we'll go on this group. We'll say a C minus because I get some D's in there, and I got a D on there as well too.
Right.
So, cool.
Like I said, that's the only reason I gave it to him was because of the playmaking ability from Jayon and David Long. To me, is a type of player that needs playing time. Once he gets playing time, then you'll see he'll start to learn. The game will slow down for him. He can be that crazy linebacker, but you just need somebody right next to him that's going to be just as crazy and big that can stop the run from him.
Facts. All right. Y'all, this is fun, by the way. Thank you as well for everybody making comments, man. Again, we see the grades. It looks like we're all on the same page. I mean, we really do. We love the Titans. We know that you guys do too. We watch them. We want them to be well. We want them to be successful. And on this show, we want to do everything we can, man, to highlight what we need to do to be better. Because we want to win the Super Bowl one day. I'm tired of being a Super Bowl-less team. I want us to win a freaking Super Bowl. And it pisses me off that we lost to the freaking Baltimore Ravens, man.
I agree.
Damn, dog. So I'm still not over it. I'm not. Because Baltimore's offense was not good at all, as you saw when they played Buffalo. Say we'd have beat the Ravens. We could have maybe competed with the Bills. Bills might have won, but it could have been competitive. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I don't know, man. It's that's
I agree.
Man.
Not facts.
I'm on one right now, bro. All right. So the next position group, cornerbacks.
Okay.
We got Malcolm Butler, Adoree Jackson, Desmond King, Jonathan Joseph, Christian Fulton, Breon Borders, Chris Jackson, Ty Smith, and Kareem Orr. All right, so for me, Jacques, corners. Damon Beverly, I totally agree with this, sir. But Games Lane is saying, hey, bro, get over it. Get used to it. Hilarious. All right, so corners. So I've told you, if those that are making comments in the comment section, tell me if you guys agree with what I'm about to say about our corners. You know who played the best on defense all season long, man, who was consistent all year? That's Malcolm Butler. Mm-hmm. If y'all agree with that, please let me know. And I'm not saying that says a whole lot, because that lets you know how bad our defense is. And I'm not taking nothing away from Butler. I'm not. But, it shouldn't be your corner. It should be a linebacker or a D lineman or DN. You see what I'm saying? Not your corner. And our corner had to play linebacker this year, safety. He had to do it all this year. Right. And Malcolm Butler got hurt last year. He came back, played all year this year. I'm very proud of Malcolm Butler. If he's for some reason listening, you balled out, young sir. You know what I mean? But I will say this as a group. This group was the most interchangeable group in the season, right? Every week you don't know who was playing. Was it Breon Borders out there? Is it Adoree Jackson? Is it Christian Fulton? Is it Chris Jackson? Is it Malcolm Butler stayed there? But everyone else was just moving around all season long. This year we got exposed, okay? A lot of it could have been because we had no pass rush. But receivers were eating against the Tennessee Titans. We had several weeks. Your top receivers getting 100 yards receiving.
Cincinnati.
Right? A fact, right?
Cincinnati 8.
Exactly. Any guy, if you had a fantasy receiver going against a Titan, you play him as your wide receiver number one. I don't give a crap who it is, right? Yep. But what I would say is that I felt the group did try hard. They did, make tackles. They gave effort. I just don't know if it's talent or scheme. It just wasn't there this year. It wasn't. Adoree Jackson was hurt all season. And when he came back, he was very rusty. I don't think he really trusted his knee either. He didn't allow himself to. I mean, he's guarding receivers 20 yards off. Right. If it was not for Malcolm Butler, I would have gave this group a D. Okay? But and Breon Borders sort of over exceeded his expectations too until he got burned by Cleveland. But I'm gonna give this group a C. What about you, Jacques?
So I swear to God, again, Hawk, I'm not looking at your paper. I gave this group a C as well. Just by offer, like you said, it's an interchangeable group. Butler, of course, is going to hold down his end. Butler's a 50-50 guy. He might get burnt. He might not, but he's always in position, right?
Yep.
And even when Adoree wasn't playing, you had to work with what you work with. Christian Fulton at the beginning of the season was making plays. He was a playmaker. Training camp hurts this group, okay? Usually when you play DB, you have to get that communication going with your fellow DBs, right? Yep. You got to get that offensive, those reps in. That's something that this group didn't have. Remember, this group looks new. It's not the same group we came in last year? No. Remember, we lost Logan Ryan. We lost a couple pieces. But at the same time, when Breon Borders came in, he overachieved. Overachieved. I was shocked. I was like, okay, this must be a scheme thing. And then Cleveland comes around and we're like, okay, that's why you're a practice squad player. Right. That's why you're not a starter in this league. But you can get the young man some help, right? Adoree, we said this. We knew Adoree wasn't going to be the savior when he came back. We knew that, right? We knew that for a fact. We warned y'all. We said, Adoree's not going to come back and save this defense or the secondary. So for me, and also think about it, people, when we needed turnovers, that group was there to do it.
That's a fact, sir. That's a fact, Jock.
That group was there to do it. Like literally, it's the weirdest season. We was like number 2 and number 3 in turnover differential. So it is there, right? They did their thing. It's just a lack of pass rush and a lack of a defensive coordinator and a scheme. That's what happened. So for me, like I said, I'm not looking at your paper, man. Trust me. Gotta see, dog.
Okay. So other folks commented on Desmond King, and I totally apologize. Desmond King played very well.
I want to resign Desmond King.
I do as well. I do as well. Very good spot corner, man.
Back because he was so underrated, and he filled in for that Christian Fulton position. That's what Christian Fulton was supposed to be. Right. He came in, he bought into the team. He already liked the Titans. He already had camaraderie with Byard and all them. So he did what he was able to do, and his name didn't get called a lot. You know, when you're a DB, if your name gets called a lot, you know you ain't doing your job. But if we don't hear about you, you're doing your thing.
That's right, sir. That's right. All right. So Desmond King and Malcolm Butler kept this group from falling to a D. And it looks like the folks that made comments as well, too, most had said a C. So we're going to C overall for our corners. All right. Our next position group, Jacques. Safeties. Our safeties. Kevin Byard, Kenny Vaccaro, Amani Hooker, Joshua Kalu, Dane Cruikshank. What you think, Jacques?
So for this group, Byard played trash this year. Byard was trying to do too much. Byard was trying to make up for everybody's lack of accountability and responsibility. He's playing out of position. He's trying to make up for Butler. I mean, it was sometimes miscues and miscommunication between those two. But for me, I was going to give this group a D. But I'm going to tell you who saved this group. I'm going to tell you, I'm not giving it a D. I gave him a C. Amani Hooker, for me, saved this group, okay? Amani Hooker is, to me, a mixture of Vaccaro and Byard. He has great speed, and he will lay the hat in the wood if he needs to. And I think he led the safeties in interceptions. I think he had 4, I want to say.
Something
he's
like
good
that.
He's good trade bait, but that's Vaccaro's replacement. Now, he did have some games where he was but for me, I was going to give this group a D, but I gave this group a C. What about you?
So I'm going down the list of grades because I have mine on here as well, too. And I'm going to throw this on out there. I gave the safeties a D. Facts, D, 100%. Hooker, as you stated, saved this group from being an F. I thought our safeties played very poor. Kevin Byard did not show up this season. He knows that. Kenny Vaccaro didn't show up this season. He knows that. Vaccaro played better early in the season and just fell off. As you said, there were times Hooker was getting toasted at times too. But I felt he played with more energy. He was around the ball more, made more plays, seemed to be more into it. Again, no energy from the safety position. And, you know, it's unbelievable. Again, we got to go to coaching. We got to go to scheme because the Vaccaro and Byard was some of the best safeties playing last year. And this year, they might be the worst tandem of safeties. So we have a lot of different scores from C, D's, and F on this. But like you said, Bill Kerr, we got beat all day. Exactly. So I'd say overall, with the comments I'm seeing a lot of C's. I got a D. I'm going to say C minus for this group, for the safeties. C minus.
I've seen a lot of D's.
Flat out D, bro.
I've seen a lot of D's. I see a lot of D's in here.
Okay. Yeah, it is true. I do see
a lot of D's.
Yep. Okay. All right. So, y'all, that's our offense and our defense in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? And when we're done here, you know, we'll put it all together and come up with what we see as far as our offense and our defense. So, our next spot that we're looking at, special teams. We got to talk about this, Jock. We got to talk about it. Special teams. Our kicker, Stephen Gostowski. Our punter, Brett Kern. Our kick returner and punt returner, Cameron Batson, Darrington Evans, Khalif Raymond. And our backup kickers and punters, Ryan Allen and Sam Sloman. So, for me, Jacques, You ready?
I'm ready.
Let me see if anyone can beat me to the punch on this on special teams. Look at this, man. We're on the same page, y'all. I gave special teams a D, a flat out D. Okay. Yes, Gostowski hit some game winners, early in the season, but he missed a lot of field goals, especially those that were under 39 yards. It was unbelievable, right? I think the only reason I want to sort of change, but I'm not because I'm sticking to what I have, is the fact that Brett Kern had a really good season punting the ball, and that's just what he does. And he himself probably did save this group from going to an F. We have no threat in kickoff return, punt return. Is anyone, put this in the comment, is anyone scared of Khalif Raymond and kicking him the ball that he's going to score a touchdown?
The high school kid can tackle him.
Exactly, right? So no one's scared of him. Darrington Evans played a bit better in returning the ball or whatever. He has ability to score a touchdown. Cameron Batson, but they don't scare anybody. We didn't block really any kicks this year. I think only one game we had a block kick. We scared nobody on special teams. Now, what I will say is that we didn't turn the ball over on special teams. I don't think we had not a fumble at all. Now, I do like that part of it now. I will say that. But our special teams, D to the core. What about for you, Jacques?
So for me, I'm going C.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm going C. Early in the season, man, Gostowski was trash, okay? Missing field goals. But he kind of woke up. He woke up throughout the season. But what saved this group for me was Kern. Kern's a playmaker. Kern put us in positions when, hey, we needed to pin you back in your 20. We was able to do it, right?
Yep.
Our kickoff team, Khalif and Darrington Evans and Batson, I don't expect that. But this is a Titans team. Titans teams usually don't have great kickoff returns. That's just what we don't do. I mean, Mark Mariani was pretty decent, right? But for this group, I wasn't going to give him a D. I was going to give him a D, but I was like, no, Kern saves that for me.
Okay.
And then even with that, we made the game that we really made mistakes was the Colts game. That special teams lost us that game.
We did.
But after that, man, we got our stuff together. We really didn't get burnt in kick or punt returns, so that was pretty decent as well. So for me, it's a C, man. Like I said, Kern saved this group for me, and I just didn't see where we get, like years past, we would get burnt kick return and punt return, right?
Yep.
Just what? And I think we have something special in Darrington Evans when it comes to returning kicks. So for me, a C.
Okay. Well, looking at everybody's score here, a lot of D's, a lot of F's, a few C's. I think I'm going here with a D from everyone else, a D. So I'm going to say a composite score for our special teams was a D. Like I said, I agree with you about Brett Kern, honestly, man. I really do. But, yeah. All right.
They won some games. I got to give them credit there,
that
too.
That is true, Jock.
Because it could have been times where they lost us games. But
that's right.
They won us games.
That's true. That is true. All right. So we are done with position groups. Now, this is going to be interesting. Coaching groups. So those that are watching the show, let's see what you think about this. All right. So we just talked about special teams. Now we have offensive coaching. So we have our offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith, offensive line coach, Keith Carter, running backs coach, Tony Dews, tight end, Todd Bowling, wide receivers, Rob Moore, quarterbacks, Pat O'Hara, offensive assistant, Luke Steckel and Mike Sullivan, and quality control, Chandler Henley. All right, Jacques.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about our offensive coaching this year, man? What do you think?
I give it an A. I give it an A. I give our offensive coaching an A because you have a 2,000-yard rusher. You have we got 4,000-yard quarterback, 1,000-yard receiver. You can't ask for much more. I mean, your offensive line blocked very well. I mean, and they put up points, people, okay? The best Titans offenses we've ever had.
Ever.
Okay? Ever had. And that goes back to Eddie George and Steve McNair. And those are my two favorite players, right?
Yep.
But for me, it's an A, okay? You can't get, I mean, look what it did. It got Arthur Smith a job.
Facts.
Got him a head coaching job, okay?
Yep.
So when you can, that's what got him the job. Once you elevate and you can elevate an offense from year 1 to year 2, you got it. Keith Carter was trash last year. Look what Keith Carter was able to do. We were calling for Keith Carter's head last year, people.
We were.
The offensive line coach. Now look at him. So for me, A. What about you?
Jacques, we're saying the same thing, speaking the same language, good brother. And I think a lot of people say the same. I don't see anything less than a B plus. Well, I do see one B minus, but and that's Jeremiah Robinson. And then we got Bill Kerr, the A, B actually, CJ2K, A, Demetrius Mitchell, A, AZ Mick, B plus, Cedric Bowman, B plus. So I'm going A, dude. Okay. As you said, we got a coordinator that just got sent to the Atlanta Falcons as a head coach. So that there tells you, hey, you've done a great job by being promoted, right? I know some people might, and King Judah said bad play calling or whatever. This is what I would say about bad play calling. I felt overall this season the play calling was pretty good. Now, against the Ravens in the playoffs was a different story. I thought the play calling was terrible. It was awful. And you said this, job. Arthur Smith was probably thinking about, I got my interview right after this game, man. I'm getting my suit on looking like me right now, about to go to this interview and knock it out, right? But I think overall, I think that our offense played very well. Play calling was really good. I thought coaching was really good. They were a good unit together. A lot of them had been with the Titans for years, so that continuity was there. They were able to adjust from the Mariota era now to the Tannehill era with Derrick Henry stepping up. This group definitely gets an A, man, definitely. I wouldn't say A plus, but an A. Yep. Right. And so looking at everybody else, I see everyone else has an A on there as well too. So so we totally
and with play calling, you work with what you got, right?
Yep.
We see a lot of teams going to the simple play calling, like Cleveland, play action, bootleg, run, play action, bootleg, run, play action, bootleg, run. And that's what I see. I'm like, it's just a simple offense where those complicated offenses that we've seen in years past, they're going out the window. Those are done because you got quarterbacks that are coming in to the league that are ready to play, but they're just not the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Bradys. They have to be very simple. That's why Baker Mayfield is succeeding. That's why Trevor Lawrence might succeed, right? That's why Lamar Jackson is succeeding, because you play to their strengths, right? Instead of playing to what they're not strong at. That's why Mariota, they should have did with Mariota, but of course that's a whole different show. But anyway.
Right. Agreed, sir. Agreed. All right, so we go from offensive coaching to defensive coaching.
Oh my
defense.
God. And he got none. NA.
Y'all see that, right? Defensive coordinator, none. Defensive coordinator, none. Outside linebackers, Shane Bowen, who was the interim defensive coordinator, but he wasn't the defensive coordinator, so that's why his name is not under that title. Safety, Scott Booker. Defensive assistant, Matt Edwards. Inside linebackers, Jim Haslett. Quality control, Zach Kerr. Secondary, Anthony Midget. Defensive line, Terrell Williams. All right, so Jacques for me, man.
What you got for me?
For this particular group, man, this is what I look at. You didn't have a defensive coordinator at the end of the day, right?
Right.
So you have to band together as brothers to make this thing work. And then Mike Vrabel, towards the end of the season, pretty much put him under the bus.
Yes,
he put Shane Bowen under the bus. And he's basically saying it's on Shane Bowen. I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? Our defense couldn't have played any worse than what it was. We were 28th in the league in defense. We can look at players, and players got to play. At the end of the day, it's on them. They're grown men. They got to make those plays. But we're talking about coaching. There was no sacks. We were second worst in the league in sacks. We were 28th in the league overall in defense. Now, we didn't give up a lot of points per game, which is kind of interesting. But we gave up a lot of yards, a whole lot of yards. There was absolutely no leadership. The defense played lackluster, uninspired. It was bad. And I'm going to put it on coaching because we see Tampa Bay, Jacques. We see the New Orleans Saints, right?
Yep.
We see the energy that they play. Even the Green Bay Packers, the LA Rams. Them guys are all over the field. Based on their coaches. Their coaches get them hyped up. And on this particular part, bro, defensive coaching, I'm giving them an F. A freaking F. An F. What about you, bro?
Can I go in that? So for me, I mean, like I said, I'm not cheating off your paper, but they got an F from me as well.
Okay.
Like I said, man, and like you said, M. Jackson is funny. Literally, man, like there was no schemes, there was no coaching, there was no adjustments, right? You go from having a great unit from coming to being one of the top 15, top 10 defenses last year to now bottom of the league, 28th.
Yep.
Come on now.
Yep.
Come on now. And we warned people at the beginning of the season. We said, what can hurt the Titans is not having a defensive coordinator, and it showed, right?
Facts on paper, sir.
So, yes, they get a flat F. And if I could, I wouldn't give them a grade at all. You get a fat NA. Like, why you give me an NA? Because you didn't complete nothing. What do you? I mean, if this was a test, half the test. Matter of fact, maybe 25% of the test was done, and you left the rest of the stuff blank because you didn't know what to do, right?
Yep.
And hopefully, man, Vrabel don't run this team to the ground. But I mean, they get a flat L from me. They were just trash, trash. And ironically, the weird part about this, the defense didn't cost us the playoff game.
They didn't.
It was the offense.
Jacques, can I have a question? I have a question for you on that, though, sir.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you how my mind has changed since then.
Okay.
And Cameron Tisdale, you are right. Our third down defense was the worst. It was the worst I've ever seen.
Third and 25.
We're not kidding.
Hey,
historically, we're top 5 of the worst defenses to ever play on third down. It's a fact. That's a fact.
You third and 25, you converting it.
Yep.
On the Titans defense.
So, Jacques, question for you real quick, man.
All right.
About the playoff game against the freaking Baltimore Ravens.
Talk to me.
And those that are making comments as well, let us know what you think about what I'm about to ask Jacques. Was it our defense that played well against Baltimore? Or is Baltimore's offense that bad?
Oh, okay.
I know we talk really well about the defense and how they played against Baltimore, but man, look,
go
rewind the tape when they played the Bills in the playoffs. Which is it? What is it, y'all? Was it the Ravens offense? That was just what is it?
It was Ravens offense. You know what? Hey, you got me thinking. You know what? Yes, it was the Ravens. It was the inability for Lamar Jackson to throw the ball. If he was able to throw the ball, they would have. I mean, they won the game, but it would have been a dominating win, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it is the Ravens offense is that bad. Like you said, and I'm glad that they went to the Bills and let's go Buffalo. Shout out to them.
Yep.
And it showed the world that, hey, what we're saying, we're not just bashing him because we don't like the Ravens, right? Yep. We're analysts. We see things. We like, hey, Lamar, he's not the guy. I mean, you say this all the time, Hawk, you are who you are.
Yep.
You are who you are. I mean, I'm sorry. You are who you are. So for me, I think it was the Baltimore offense, man. I mean, they didn't do nothing special. I mean, Lamar got that long run. And he ran right past Byard, and they won the game. Just is what it is. And they ran into a better defense that was able to stop the pass. I mean, Lamar threw an interception. He threw 100 yard. He threw a 101-yard pass to the opposite team, and they scored a touchdown. Okay, let that sink in, people. Exactly. And then he got hurt. Right? I mean, quick recovery to the young brother, but yeah, you're right, man. It was their offense, man. Their offense was that bad. So that means our defense is still trash.
Right, exactly. So, because I look at it like Baltimore, the Raven fans that are in the comments, because we got several in there. You flew to Buffalo, New York, Western New York in the cold, right? You know, you get your gear on, you get your gloves ready, you put your hat on and everything. You know, you put your hands in a hand warmer and all this stuff, and you score 3 freaking points.
Right.
You did all that and only scored a field goal.
Yep.
How does that feel? That has to feel terrible.
Well, they won a Super Bowl.
We could have been a little bit more competitive in that game.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? We could have at least scored 10 points. Damn, right?
At
least 10. I'm not saying we would have won because we lost to Baltimore. So it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But I think we could have been at least competitive. You scored 3 points. And Buffalo doesn't have a superior defense. They really don't. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's why I sometimes think our defense is just that bad. I mean, we let Lamar Jackson run like he was Bo Jack. He looked like Derrick Henry running the ball. Mm-hmm. He went, again, as we talking about receivers, I mean, Hollywood Brown did have over 100 yards receiving. Ironic, this was so crazy. He had 2 big plays that would cause that, but didn't score any touchdowns. I think Baltimore's offense is just terrible. It's terrible. Yep. And I know they talk about Roman or whatever. Look, man, you're asking a fish to catch a lion, and that's not gonna happen, bro.
Right.
That ain't gonna happen.
Right. Well, Baltimore won their Super Bowl when they beat us.
That's a fact, sir.
They won their Super Bowl. They were so concentrating on beating us that they didn't care what they did in the rest of the playoffs, and it makes no sense. It's crazy, but
Yep. And what bothers me, y'all, I'm sorry that I'm still sort of emotional about this game, about our season. I really am, y'all. Like, I'm still not like, it hasn't grasped me yet. Still, it's the fact that we had a Super Bowl offense.
Mm-hmm.
We did. We had an offense that could win the Super Bowl. If the chips would have played right, that was a possibility. And we lose in that fashion, man. It pisses me off.
Yep.
It really freaking does, man. So I'm trying not to curse, but I'm really mad like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, all right. So we looked at offense and defensive coaches. So next, let's look at special team coaches. All right. So we got special teams coach Craig Ackerman and assistant special teams coach Ryan Crow. So, Jacques, what you think, bro?
So for me, like I said earlier, man, I'm giving them a C. I mean, they wasn't that terrible, right? And they coach what they can work with. And like I said, they have the best punter in the league, Brett Kern. And Brett Kern put us in position to be successful majority of the time. Like even when we played the Colts the second time, the Colts they were in their 20 majority of the game. So for me, it's a C. What about you?
I'm totally agreeing with you. And I think everyone else is saying the exact same thing. Cedric Bowman, Bill Kerr, Cameron Tisdale, agreed. A C. As you mentioned, you only can play for what you have, right?
Right.
We didn't have the personnel to have a great special teams. And you got Steven Gostkowski, who's almost 40 years old, kicking. Again, you look at Brett Kern, possibly the best punter in the league, right? Still doing a really good job. I think they coached to the best of their abilities based on who they had. They had no real true kickoff return or punt returner at all at zero level, right? You have certain players like Dunzenbar, Darren Bates, Kalu. Those guys play pretty well on special teams, and that goes to coaching. So I'd give them a C. I totally agree. It's a C. C all day. So we got D, C. We're kind of all over the place here. I think I see more C's for special team coaching. Okay, cool. C. A C. Cool, man. All right. So look at this right here. Who do we have next, man? Who do we have next? Head coach.
Oh, hell.
Mike Vrabel. Mike V. What is good, Mike Vrabel? All right, Jacques.
Mike V.
Talk to him, Jacques. What you got, bro, Mike Vrabel, sir?
Mike Vrabel. Mikey Vrabel. First of all, Mike Vrabel ticked me off when he didn't sign a defensive coordinator. That's number one, okay? He had a lot of questionable calls this year. Like, Mike Vrabel was a genius last year. Genius in the playoffs. Coaching was superb. But this year, this is going to sound crazy, because he didn't sign a defensive coordinator, he getting a D from me, man. I'm sorry. I'm going low. I know. Hey, I'm going low, man. I'm going low. And it's the reason why he gets a D is because of his ego. His freaking ego.
Wow.
His freaking ego from not signing a defensive coordinator is what cost us this season, right? Okay. It cost us this season. And for me, it's a D. It's a straight out, flat out D. And I just hate it because we went from here to here. Because you're arrogant and you don't want to go out and sign and have other personnel around you besides the people that you know, and nobody calls you out on your crap, then that sets us up. He has even people in the media ticked off at him. So for me, it's a D, man. What about you?
That's true, man. That's some good points. Make sure as well, folks, to hit that like button. I know we haven't said it all show because we're in the mix. We're having a ball.
Man,
hit that like button, folks. If you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure to subscribe. Check us again on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly and on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. So for me, Jacques, you and me on total different ends of the spectrum here, man. Hey, you bring some great points. No lie.
Do you think, man? That's what makes us great, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I gave Mike Vrabel a B, man.
Wow.
I gave him a B. All right. This is why I gave him a B. Okay. And what I like is that it's a lot of comments on it about B's and C's and D's, kind of all over the place. I think this is the one where the scale is going every which way, and that's a good thing. But the Titans finished 11-5, y'all. Okay, 11-5.
Great point.
And we made the playoffs, and we won the AFC South. Okay. we didn't have a talented defense at all, okay? So, yes, I put that blame on Vrabel for not getting a defensive coordinator as to why Knox just scored down a little bit, right? I mean, not a little bit, a lot, actually. Because I felt overall, Mike Vrabel made a lot of good calls this year. Again, we won 11 games. I mean, you don't wake up winning 11 games and then also winning your division, a division we have not won since 2008. And we've made the playoffs 2 years in a row under Mike Vrabel. So I give him the fact that he improved from last year, at least from a record standpoint. I don't think the team improved, but our record improved. I just think, yes, he could have done better. Yes. But I guarantee you, if Mike Vrabel says I resign today, he'll be picked up tomorrow. That's how I look at it, right? If we had another coach here and we wasn't making the playoffs and things, I would score them a D and an F all day, right? But I just think, man, overall, it could have been better, yes. And DNS, I think this is a heck of a point.
Yeah, absolutely. I talk about culture all the time, Hawk. I do.
You do. And I think Mike Vrabel has done that. I think,
yes.
I think players here really want to be here, and I think Mike Vrabel is there for that reason. And I give him a B. I give him a strong B, teetering to a B minus, but I give him a B, man. I give him a B. So
that's cool. Okay. And like I said, hey, great points, Hawk. Hey, he's done it. But for me, when you don't sign a defensive coordinator, it costs us our season, dog. It costs us a season. 11-5. I'm like you. I'm ready for a Super Bowl, man. I'm ready to taste that Lombardi trophy, look at it, touch it, do everything to it. But hey.
Yep. I got you, man. G Money Bags. That's hilarious. So you can finally win a Super Bowl. So, okay. So looking at, everyone's comments as well as far as grade, I think we're kind of all over the place. So we're going to go with C there. I think overall, we're going to grade Mike Vrabel a C. Overall, a C. Based on everybody's scores and our scores. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's kind of in the middle in that regard. So we give them a C. So, all right. So, next. What? The owner, Amy Adams Strunk, and the general manager, executive VP, John Robinson. No one is above being judged today on the report card. So, all right. So, for me, Jacques, when I look at this, the owner and GM overall this year, people might disagree with me on this one, and that's okay. I really like Amy Adams Strunk. I really do. I think she's moving the organization in the right direction. So I will give her that. I think she's really a great owner, actually. I know eventually, we'll get a new stadium and everything, and building the right foundation, which we have. And again, I give John Robinson that as well, drafting the right players in the past. We have a strong culture here, and John Robinson's been a main part of that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about 2020. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the year 2020, right? We're talking about your draft picks, John Robinson, right? We're talking about your free agents that you signed this year, John Robinson. We're talking about you not putting Mike Vrabel in a responsibility situation to say, hey, man, you need to hire yourself a damn defensive coordinator, right? So I'm looking at all this stuff, right? I'm looking at all this. So not so much on Amy, but more on John Robinson this year. I'm going to grade him a C. And I've always had John Robinson as an A. This year, I think he kind of fell to the ground a little bit. I don't think any of the free Desmond King, and somebody has made mention, Run Left said they did get Desmond King. So I do agree with that. But overall, our other free agents didn't do a damn thing this year. Our rookies did nothing. And that's your responsibility. It's to hire talent, bring talent in to bring this team to where it needs to be. Yes, we improved as far as getting to 11-5, but that's from our previous players. That's your previous drafts. That's your previous free agents. The free agents you brought in this year failed miserably. So I'm giving the Amy Adams Strunk / John Robinson combination a C. What about for you, bro?
So for me, it's funny. I gave him a C as well, but I'm going to tell you, I was going to give him a B, but why I gave him a C because of the Vic Beasley pickup, and we held out for JD, which you had other free agents on the books that probably would have rushed the passer better. But when you have the virus out there, C-19, it's not that much you can do. Right. You can't go to you couldn't go to pro days. You couldn't go to the. I think they did they hold the combine or did they cancel the combine?
This year they're canceling it this year.
Okay,
yeah.
They had the combine, but not having that to be able to go to pro days and visually look at the players that you want really hurt us, right? You trying to go off tape and you looking at big man up. It just didn't work. Go back to free agency, man. We couldn't bring in particular free agents to get health checks, right?
Yep.
We couldn't bring them in. So in that regard, I'm giving them a C just because of that. I'm like, hey, you failed because of that. But with the circumstance and with everything's going on in the world right now, I understand what they had to work with, what they had to work with. Because, I mean, it could have been where we didn't have no season. But for me, hey, it's a C. And with them, even if it's going to be tougher this year, even because they've canceled the combine. So you're just strictly going off of tape. I'm like, oh, Lord. So it ain't the same, man. It's different. So just for me, it's a C. From what they had to work with.
Understood. Well, 242 Titan says Amy Adams gets an A and Robinson gets a B. They did spend money and try. That is a fact. They did try. They tried to address the weaknesses from the year prior. I do agree with that. It was another comment that I saw. This is a great comment right here.
I agree.
And no trade deadline. That is a fact, sir. That's on the GM. That's on him.
We went from trading. Remember that? We used to call him Trader John or Trader whatever Trader. He used to trade all the time, but he stopped. I mean, I would have loved to have Ngakoue here.
Yeah, me too, man. M. Jackson said, love y'all, but a C is way too high. Okay. So this is what I'll say. Looking at all the scores, even this is kind of all over the place too. A bunch of A's, D's, C's, F's. We'll go with a C here. If it's kind of all over the place, we'll go with a C, man. So, all right. So for this group, we'll say a C. All right. So we got 2 more spots. 2 more. Y'all ready for this? I don't know if they're ready for this one, Jock. This should be.
You better hit them with the boom.
The 2020 NFL draft. I want y'all to look at that screen. Just look at it real quick, right? Let's go down the list. First round pick, Isaiah Wilson.
Trash.
Second round pick.
He was okay.
Out of LSU, Christian Fulton.
He was all right.
Isaiah Wilson went to Georgia, right? A third round pick, Appalachian State. My boy Warren, what's up? Darrington Evans. Fourth round pick, NC State, Laurel Murchison.
Trash.
Fifth round pick, out of Hawaii, Cole McDonald.
Garbage.
Who was that? Oh, that's right. He was our quarterback. That was only here for like a day. And then our also fifth round pick out of Marshall, Chris Jackson.
Trash.
Then we had to put in our free agents in this mix. We got Nick Westbrook, Aaron Brewer, and Tier Tart. Y'all see that, right? These are our free agents that were not drafted, but they were picked up as rookies.
They played more than him. That's
ridiculous. They did. So, Jacques. Oh my gosh. I gotta see the comments, man. I got to see the comments on the draft.
Hey, Damon, I'm with you, bro.
So, Jacques, you bring up a great point, bro, about the fact that it was in a disadvantage because of C19. You're not able to really get a good gist of these players. You're pretty much watching YouTube videos of these guys. Or you're looking at some website, sports247.com or something, just looking at, profiles. But, bro, at the end of the day, just like anyone at your job, you have a responsibility and results come from that, right? If you do not perform at your job, they will let you go. I don't care who you are. If you own your own business or you work for whoever, that's always been the case. Our draft class gets an F. An F. An F. Our draft class was bad, okay? Really bad. Isaiah Wilson, are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding? Can you be more worse than that as a first-round pick? A situation where Isaiah Wilson had 5 or 6 times where he could have played? He could have been a starter? We're playing third-string tackles over you as a first-round pick? Are you freaking kidding? Our undrafted free agents play better than our drafted players. That's what's so crazy. What's up, Danko?
Danko.
What's going on, bro? What's happening, bro?
Danko. Shout out to Danko.
What's good, bro? What's happening, man? Oh, boy. I'm giving them an F flat out. I don't see any of these rookies were not productive, man. Tier Tart might have been our best rookie, and he was a free agent. Christian Fulton was in and out. Darrington Evans was hurt. Laurel Murchison was trash this season. He knows that. Cole McDonald was a waste of a pick.
He was super waste.
That was a waste of a pick. This joker was here for 2 practices and got sent back to Hawaii. And people were like, oh, somebody's going to sign him. He's good. Look, man, You get drafted and you get cut after your second day, you're not good. You're not going to be on any NFL team at all, right? Unless you're turning into a Taysom Hill. Chris Jackson played early in the year, and he was getting exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Wilson was a big, major flop, dude. I'm giving him a freaking F. What about you, bro?
They get an NA.
Oh, don't do him like don't do him like that.
That don't be no grade for me, man. They get an NA, not applicable. Okay, NA. All right. So for me, the undrafted rookies, Brewer, Tart, and Westbrook played above expectations, bro. Tart making plays. Westbrook had a huge conversion on fourth down, a throw from what's our quarterback? Our backup quarterback. What's
Logan Woodside?
Woodside. Woodside threw it. Boom. Westbrook caught it, right? Tart's making plays. Brewer, he was in there blocking, right? From Isaiah Wilson, who's trash. Christian Fulton, they didn't even activate him some games because he couldn't play special teams. I'm like, you can't play special teams? You can't play special teams, bro? That confused me. That really confused me. It's like, you can't play special teams. Okay, whatever. Larrell Murchison, I don't know. I just don't know. Like you said, McDonald, I don't know. They just out there pick. John Robinson did like this. I pick him. And then he opened and then he looked at the board.
Man, it's hilarious, bro.
Like, oh, there you go. That's a draft. That's luck of the draw, right? So for me, they get an NA.
Facts. Okay.
They don't get no grade from me.
I think people agree with you, sir. There's a lot of NAs in here, bro. It is. There's a lot of NAs. And like M. Jackson said, yes, the Andre Wolfo led draft in 03 was terrible. Clearly
trash. Oh my God.
Trash. Wow. In NA, dude. You know what, man? Hey, we got to go with the masses, bro. We got to go with the masses. There ain't no rules in this thing. NA. We're going NA for the draft picks. That's that bad. And someone may mention too, man. I'm trying to see like, right here, Games Lane. It's a good point. It's an equal playing field, man. So it impacted us and it impacted everybody else too. You know what I'm saying? We're no different and no favoritism in that regard. It is
ain't no excuses. Look at Justin Jefferson. Look at Chase Young, right?
That's right.
Look at those rookies that came prepared. They came prepared. They came to play. Those rookies are going to be great for years because you came in a situation where you was plugged. You literally were plug and play. Go. Just play, right?
Right.
So, NA. It's a wrap, dog. NA for me.
Facts, all right, and I'm hopefully Isaiah, if he's still on the team, hopefully he can turn it around because we need him. He's needed. We need him.
Do you? I think he needs structure. He needs to be in a structured environment to where he gets his brain working because he seems like when he gets bored, he just wants to do just any and everything, and he just needs that structure.
Yeah, that's right. And Isaiah Wilson's a big kid. He's a big joker. He's really young, but there's a lot of young players in the league like that. I mean, this is not is what it is, man.
Hey, Jamila Jags exactly.
James Robinson. That's right.
Exactly.
So, all right. So, our last position group or situation for the Titans as far as our grades. The free agents. Y'all see that? The 2023 agents. Okay. The one player I forgot to put on here was Desmond King, and I apologize. But Desmond King, Jadeveon Clowney, Vic Beasley, old Jonathan Joseph, Jack Crawford, Nick Dunzenbar, Breon Borders, Brooks Reed, Ty Sambrello, and Sonoris Perry. Talk to me, Jacques. What you got, bro, on the free agents, dude?
That's a mixed bag. It's a super mixed bag because Sambrello came in here. He worked hard. Breon Borders came in here. He's done his thing. King has done his thing. So for me, with the absence of JD getting hurt, which he couldn't control that, but Vic Beasley, oh my God. Reed came in here and did his thing, right? So for me, this group gets a D. They get a D. And that's just because of Vic Beasley, man. Vic Beasley and JD were your high-paying, high-top-end picks, free agents. They came in and ate up most of your cap, right? They killed our money. Like, they're part of the reason why we're hurting in the cap right now. They're the part of the reason why we probably can't go out and draft free agents, right? Or get free agents, top-notch free agents that we need. So for me, it's a D. And I was going to give them a C, but just those two players alone, and with the money and the cap situation, it bumped it down a grade for me. What about you?
So Bill Kerr says, judging from these grades, J-Rod needs to get fired. Wow. So I'm gonna copycat what you just stated as far as grade. I'm giving them a D as well. I think those that are making comments as well, they're saying the exact same as well. Again, please click the like button. Definitely do that. We got 58 people here watching us. Again, as always, we appreciate you guys and we appreciate your time and listening to us. But I'm going to give them a D as well from the free agent group. Yes, Jadeveon Clowney, though I felt he tried his hardest to play as hard as he could. The effort was there. The discipline wasn't. He ended up getting hurt. Big Beasley, one of the worst free agents we've in life, was one of the worst free agents ever in NFL history. You look at, Breon Borders, he overachieved. Desmond King came in. We needed a slot corner because Jonathan Joseph, who was another free agent, played terrible. So he came in, he played pretty well. Ty Sambrello did as well. But nothing super. When you think of a free agent, you sign a free agent, you're thinking of a game changer. Did anyone change the game? Not at all, right? Not at all. Not at all. You think of like picking up a free agent receiver or something, and all of a sudden he's your number 2 receiver, changes the whole thing, right? Didn't happen, right? So I think that's the problem that I have with this group is you have a bunch of tape covering bullet holes, bullet hole wounds. You know what I'm saying? It's doing the best that it can, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And so, I'll give a D. I don't think nothing special, nothing just outright just terrible, but definitely didn't pass the curve in this one, man. Not at all.
I agree. Yep. I totally agree. I can't disagree, man. I can't disagree.
Yeah, man. So as far as grades, folks, we have them all in now. I'm going to just run through them just real quickly. Then when you have a report card, you have those that are on the honor roll and those that are on the principals list. So we're going to talk about that too. So looking at quarterback on the offensive positions, quarterback A, running back with A-, running back A+, wide receiver B+, tight end B, offensive tackle B, center guard B+, offensive coaching A. So I think, overall as a group, that's pretty stellar. It looks like a B+.
Right.
Pretty good. So the offense gets a B+. I'm gonna write this down so I can know or remember this. So offense gets a B+. Great job. Offense. It is what it is. We're number 3 team in the league in offense. We was at that spot all year. So it speaks well to what we think as well. So let's look at the defense, Job. Defensive tackle C, DN D, outside linebacker F, inside linebacker C-, cornerback C, safety C-, defensive coaching F. Ooh,
about a D.
It's like a D.
Yes, a D.
Defense D. Defense D. All right. Special teams. We got special teams as a D overall, and coaching a C. So C-, special teams. Yep. Okay. And then last we'll go coaching, overall coaching. Offensive coaching an A, defensive coaching an F, special teams a C.
Okay.
AFC, that's funny. AFC, how funny is that?
Right.
They about a C. That's a C.
Yeah, about a C.
C. Yeah.
Yeah.
About a C. Okay. All right. So those in the comment section, do you all agree with that? As far as like, going home, you remember as a kid, you had to go home and show your mom your report card. And if it was bad, you kind of hid it under your jacket. And your mom be like, didn't your report card come out today? You'd be like, man, dang.
Right.
Show the report card. So what do you guys think, guys? Like, yeah, 242 Titan. That is a fact. Send this to Vrabel. Yes.
Like, check it out, Vrabel.
Offense B+, defense a D, special team C-, coaching a C. I agree with that, dude.
I agree.
I agree with it, man. 100%, bro. Do y'all agree as well? Bill Kerr said he agrees.
I agree.
Yep. Vrabel's ego.
Yep.
I'm
saying his ego is big, about as big as his room, man.
That's right.
That's a pretty big room.
That's right. The Titans need to go to summer school, you think? That's a fact. That is a fact. They do.
I like that.
We have a lot of I agrees, and we agree, man. and our record reflects it. That's true. First round knockout too, man.
We called the record at the beginning of the season, which is crazy.
We did. So, okay. So now we got to give some awards, for those that achieved, above all others. So we're going to go offense and defense. So the first thing I want to go over is the honor roll. All right. So we have to look at our players on offense and defense. And again, I want you all as well in the comments section to give who you feel should get the honor roll in this regard. So we're going to go offense first for honor roll. Now, this isn't say the best player, but he had a pretty damn good season. So, Jacques, who would you have on offense as your honor roll nominee here?
We just going one player, right?
One player, yes, sir.
D. Henry.
D. Henry, honor roll, okay.
Oh, you going honor roll? Are we doing principals
honor roll? We got principals list and honor roll.
Okay, never mind. Take it back. I'm sorry. I'm getting it mixed up. So principals list is the best. Honor roll. Right. So if I'm going honor roll on offense, I'm going Arthur Juan Brown, brother.
Arthur Juan, okay.
I'm going Arthur Juan.
Arthur Juan. Okay. All right. So Jacques has Arthur Juan Brown.
What about you?
And at the honor roll spot. What do you guys think in the comment section? Who should get honor roll? For me, I'm going Arthur Juan Brown myself, bro. I am. He made the Pro Bowl this year, had over 1,000 yards receiving. He's becoming an elite receiver. Yep. AJ Brown is doing his thing. We have a lot of AJ Browns. Even got a Nate Davis. That's a good one. The Nate Davis is a good one too.
Nate Davis is solid.
AJ Brown. A lot of AJ Browns. Yep. Cedric Bowman, CJ Dub. Bill Kerr says Derrick Henry. Okay. AJ Brown. Okay, so I think in the comment section, we got AJ Brown on offense. So I'm going to talk about defense. For me.
All right.
For me. I'm going Amani Hooker on defense. Y'all listening? Honor roll. Amani Hooker for me. I think that Amani Hooker, given his situation this year, we got some Malcolm Butlers. Let's see here. Danko even said AJ Brown. Yes, sir. We got a Ryan Tannehill on offense as well. And on defense, we got Foster Tate and Malcolm Butler. So I'm saying honor roll. Honor roll, I'm saying Amani Hooker. When he was playing, he made plays. Him and Malcolm Butler made a lot of interceptions this year. I felt he was one of the only ones that played with a lot of energy. Amani Hooker made a lot of tackles. He made a lot of plays, played very well downfield. I'm saying for honor roll, Amani Hooker. What about you, Jacques?
So for honor roll for me, I'm actually gonna go Butler, man. I'm going Butler.
Okay.
I'm going Butler. Even though he led, I think he leads us in interceptions, or he's right there with Amani Hooker.
Yep.
He brings the energy. He's there in every play. Of course, he's going to get picked on. That's what's going to happen, right?
Right.
But for me, him, when we're paying him what he's doing, hey, he's doing what he needs to do. So for me, it's Butler.
Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So looking in the comment section, I see a lot. I see David Long. I see Hooker, Malcolm Butler, Hooker, Long. Okay, it's a tie right now for those three. Somebody's got to break the mold. Yeah, I like Nate Davis too, man. He had a hell of a season. Yep. We look for the next comment between Hooker, Malcolm Butler, and David Long as far as honor roll.
Yeah, Simmons on there.
Okay, Simmons. Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Simmons. Okay, we got another Simmons. Okay.
Coming up. Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's 3 and 2. Okay. We're looking for one more. Let's see here. This is going to be the icebreaker here. As far as honor roll for our defense. Let's see. Okay, there's David Long. Okay. So I think they're going David Long here.
David Long.
David Long. Okay.
All right, David Long. We're going to go David.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So honor roll on offense, we all agreed on AJ Brown. On defense, I had Hooker, you had Malcolm Butler, and the commenters here overall had David Long Jr. Okay, I mean, I agree with a lot of that, man. So now we're going with Magnum Cum Laude, the principals list. The principals list. So who made the principals list this year? All right. for me, Jacques, on offense. Of course, you know who I'm going to pick, bro. Of course. Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Derrick Henry, principles list all day. I don't even, man, it's not even, to me, it's not even really close, man. I mean, I definitely think that Derrick Henry was the main reason why we were 11-5. NFL leading rusher, offensive player of the year, Pro Bowler, All Pro. I mean, come on, man. I mean, what else needs to be said? He's the king. The king. Put the crown on him. He's the king, man. Principles list. I mean, to the core. So what about for you, Jacques?
In the year 2020, a running back named Derrick Henry has rushed for 2,000-something yards. So for me, it is the King Henry himself, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
You don't wake up rushing for 2,000 yards, man. You don't. So for me, principles, this is a no-brainer, man. If you say anybody else, man, I don't know what you're smoking on. But for me, it is the King. The King, and it will be the King in the year 2020. And we're going to get it going. Let's look for good years in 2021 and another 2,000 yards. I don't think it'll happen, but that's just hope. But yeah, King.
Yeah. And most people are saying the exact same thing in the comment section, man. It's Derrick Henry. There's no question about it, man. Hey, Derrick Henry decided to stop by the show. Look.
Hey.
Let's see, we'll pull up. There it is.
Hey,
Derrick Henry said, I did it, girl, mom. I got the principles list. It's Derrick Henry, the king. He not only has a crown, he has on a cap as well for his cap and gown, graduating. So Derrick Henry, definitely, no question about it, is on the principles list, man. No question about it. Props to the offensive line. That is correct, Chris Hart. We totally agree. Now, let's look at the principles list on our defense. All right, so you have Malcolm Butler to make the honor roll. So for who would you say would make, and folks in the comment section, let us know who you feel should make the principles list on our defense. What about you, Jacques?
So for me, it's Amani. And Amani is done. So, and I know it sounds crazy, but Amani Hooker did something this year, and he just has the energy, has the boom. Like I said, he's a mixture of Byard and Vaccaro. Byard and Vaccaro had a baby. That's who was going to be Amani Hooker right there, literally. So for me, it's Amani, man. Amani, I mean, he's up there with Byard. I think he was the second person in the secondary to lead the team with interceptions. Yes, I mean, you just don't wake up. He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. So Hooker, to me, needs to get more PT time, and he needs to be on the field at all possible times. So for me, it's Hooker.
Okay.
What about you?
Good, man. Sounds good. You know, we forgot about Kari Blasingame in the running backs.
Oh, we did.
I apologize. That is correct. Kari Blasingame had a really good season this year.
He did.
For me, man, it's Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler. You knew I was going to say that. You knew it. Malcolm Butler made the principles list for me on our defense. He played all season, started all 16 games, played with a lot of energy, led us in interceptions. Overall, did a very good job in being a leader. I thought Malcolm Butler played his heart out. We know he has some liabilities in his game at corner, right? But overall, do people know that Malcolm Butler led the league in targets? Okay. Mm-hmm. Every game he was being targeted. He led the league in that. But overall, I thought that he played with a lot of energy. I was thinking this year Jeffrey Simmons was going to make the principles list. And I think maybe next year, that could be a possibility for him. I don't know if he was just out of gas, but Malcolm Butler was consistent all year. And to play corner in an island, that's not easy. Me and Jacques play defensive back. We know how it is. Right. So I really think that Malcolm Butler played with – somebody just took the words out of my mouth. He played with an edge all year long, man. He really did. And he backed it up. He talked trash to Lamar Jackson, and what happened in the playoff game? Interception, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say Malcolm Butler. So, all right. So in the comment section, I'm looking here. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got Danko. He said Jeffrey Simmons. We just need more quality players.
That's facts. That's fact.
That's a fact.
That is
He's
fact.
the most talented defensive player that we have.
Yes. But you got to put people around him. That makes sense.
Okay. There's another Simmons. Okay. Butler. Hooker. Okay. Oh, Hooker. Right now, Hooker's winning. Butler, Hooker, Simmons, Hooker, Butler, Butler. Ooh, man. So it looks like Butler and Hooker are at a tie with Simmons just trailing behind maybe one.
Right.
We gotta have an icebreaker here. Let's see. Matt Dickerson. Next Aaron
He
Donald.
said he trolling.
He said I was just trolling. Simmons got double teamed all year.
That's a great point.
Yep. But Butler was targeted all year too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if he was French toast out there, man, that'd have been a problem.
Right.
Let's see. Or as Shaq say, barbecue chicken. So we're looking for one or two more comments to make our decision on. It's between Butler and Hooker. And that says something if you have a backup safety as in your principals list. That says something. I would say, I'm not going to say he's a true backup because he started and played all season. You know what I mean? But that's interesting. And so we got Hooker has to start first to make the principals list. That's a good point. I just made,
Butler. He came and made plays.
Yeah, he did. Butler.
Like Butler winning this one.
Yep, Butler's got this one. Malcolm Butler. So, okay. Interesting. It's always hearing it from some other perspectives.
Hey, man. Hooker will get his shot next year, especially if we don't bring back Vaccaro. Hooker has earned a starting spot in this defense from what he was able to do. And like I said, I've seen some hits where Hooker's hitting with, laying the wood. How many defensive players we have on our defense, especially in our secondary, that lays the wood?
Facts.
So,
facts.
Hey, and like you said, shout out to David Long.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Coordinator.
That's right. So what we want to do now, y'all, for the last 15 minutes here on the show, we're wanting to chop it up with you all. We appreciate everyone's comments, man. We've put most of your comments on the screen. Again, that's helped us to understand where everyone is vibing with as far as the grades and things. I think we got a good composite of everything. So should we re-sign Jayon Brown? Should we, Jacques?
Should we? Yes. Can we? I don't know. The money situation is very, very sketchy this year. This is the first time in a long time where we've had issues with the cap per se, where I don't know if we're going to be able to keep as many top free agents as we can. I don't even know if we're going to be able to bring in top free agents. So should we? Yes. Will we? It depends on priority. Do you want to sign Corey Davis? Do you want to sign Jayon? Do you want to sign the tight end, Janu?
Facts.
Yeah.
What?
It all depends on what did you see enough from David Long to where it's saying, hey, we don't have to sign Jayon Brown, right? Yep. Or do you see somebody in the draft that you saying, hey, he can be our next Devin White, right?
Yep.
He can be our next playmaking linebacker. He can be our next Patrick Queen. I mean, it is what it is. So many avenues and so many stipulations that can go in with this. Jayon, is J-Rob seeing enough? What did he see in the draft? What does he see in free agency? So, should we sign him? To answer your question, yes. What about you, Hawk?
Yes, we should sign him. But I will say this. How much is that going to cost us? Of course we should sign him. But at the end of the day, what does the ink say on the check? I think that's the question. And should the ink dry on the check? So, we have to look at that and say, well, if you don't want to sign X amount, then we have David Long Jr. You know what I'm saying? We do have David Long. Or we could draft the linebacker the 22nd spot in the draft. I really like Jayon Brown. He's definitely a playmaker. He has outplayed his contract. He was a 5th-round pick. He deserves to be paid next year. I hate that he got hurt. It was a dirty play as him hurting his elbow. But I'm really hoping that we can make some type of decision, not only to have him back, but Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith. But that's unrealistic. One or two of them are going to be gone. And so of the three, I would probably keep Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith over Jayon.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna challenge you on that.
Okay.
I think we should keep Jayon just for the depth. I think we should try to re-sign Jonnu, but there's some solid receivers in the draft this year that I think we should look at, especially if Corey. And it depends on that paper, man.
Yeah,
it depends because if Corey walks, somebody's gonna overpay for Corey. That's what's gonna happen, right? Yeah. They're going to overpay him, right? Yeah. So definitely. But we got another question here. Forrest Tate says, "What y'all think about Dean Pease going to Atlanta with Arthur Smith?" I'll let you take this one first, Hawk.
So when we heard about this a few days ago that this was a possibility, me and Jacques got on the phone. We were yelling like crazy because we were pissed off we were pissed because Dean Pease lives here in the city. He lives here in Nashville. And it's like, Mike Vrabel, you couldn't just call this joke and say, hey, man, get off your couch, man. Here's $200,000 for you, bro. Come on, coach us for the next 4 to 5 games. You're familiar with our defense. You know what it is. Let's make this thing happen. We're 28th in the league in defense. I need some help. It's not working. We need help. So initially, I was so mad. We were actually going to just do a show about that, man. We were going to have a rant show about that, literally. But we wanted to make sure, first of all, confirm the information first before we make fools of ourselves. And come to find out today that, looking at it, it's like they said that he did reach out to Dean Pease before the season was out. And Dean Pease declined. And I don't know what was said or what was offered. Maybe it wasn't good enough. Or no, I'm not sure. But I don't think he tried hard enough.
I agree.
Like, man, look, man, get off your A-double-double-S and get on out here because we need help. We need help right now. And the fact that he's getting up from Nashville and moving his family to Atlanta, Georgia, 71 years old, tells me all I need to know, man. Yep.
So for me, I understand why he's doing it because he's trying to help Arthur Smith get him used to coaching. So he's paying back how he did Vrabel. When Vrabel was here, he did the same thing to Vrabel. But I'm like you, Vrabel didn't try hard enough. I mean, Vrabel's out here walking like a zombie. I mean, Vrabel's just going with the flow, right? Yeah. How do we know that Vrabel really contacted Dean Pease and said, hey, man, we want you to come and coach the defense? How do we really know? So from here, I understand why he's doing it. Do I like it? No, right? I don't like that. Yep. We need a defensive coordinator. Now, there is other options out there, but Dean Pease chose you over Arthur Smith, bro. Come on, man. Come on.
Yep.
Come on, man. I mean, you should really be ashamed of yourself. Come on. Like.
Exactly. 71 years old, rooting your family away. And where he lives in Nashville is beautiful. Now, I don't know if he's moving away completely because Atlanta and Nashville are very close, but
4 hours away. I mean, dude really hop on a plane. 30 minutes, 30-minute flight.
I'm very pissed off, Foster Tate. What do I think about it? I'm pissed off.
Right. What about Rob? What up, brother?
What's good? What about Rob? What's happening, sir? All right, Biblical Beast. John, you got to answer that one, dog. When are we gonna sign a defensive coordinator and an offensive coordinator? We still don't have one. Me
and Hawk did. We called it the JD watch when we were trying to figure out when we were gonna sign Jadeveon Clowney. This should be called the DC watch, right? Yep. Right now, the Titans didn't fully put their staff together last year until February. So I don't expect nothing anytime soon. I'm looking at probably February. And people remember, the Titans like to promote from within, okay? This is going to hurt some people's feelings. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I'm not saying it's going to happen, and it will piss me off if it does. Don't be surprised if Vrabel says, hey, we're about to interview Shane Bowen for the defensive coordinator position.
Man, dude, boy.
Don't be surprised. Now, I know we interviewed the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to say, was he the secondary coach?
Yes.
We interviewed him. I think him and Vrabel have some ties together, but there's really no movement on it. So I'm looking at least February, maybe, I'm not going to say March, but at least late February when you would start hearing some things. And great point to you, what you said earlier, Hawk. Maybe we're waiting on somebody from these playoff teams that we can interview. But I've seen other teams saying, hey, we want to interview this person from the Chiefs, or we want to interview this person from the Packers. So I really can't use that as an excuse either. So for me, I think they're taking their time. They're trying to see what they have. I honestly think it's going to come from within. I just have that feeling. I don't know why. Titans tend to do that a lot. Yep. So that's just me. What about you, Hawk?
Oh, man. We're the only team in the NFL without an offensive or defensive coordinator. And as you said, Jock, a lot of times he does that internally. And I think as to Dean Pease going to Atlanta with Arthur Smith, because they have been with the Titans for years. Mm-hmm. And he might be going down there, as they have mentioned, him being a mentor or whatever, but that's a hell of a mentorship to uproot your family to be a mentor. I mean, they must be paying him some good money even under the rug. So what I think is this. I actually think we're going to sign a defensive coordinator outside the organization because our defense sucked last year. I think they're going to look out for that. I really think that. But I think the offensive coordinator that they might be looking at is with the inside, like they have been. And it could be O'Hara. You know, I think it would be, if anyone would be him, our quarterback's coach. And I think, that could be the possibility. And again, I don't know nothing about this guy. And we work with Arthur Smith, but I don't know, man.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it at all.
Yep.
I wouldn't be mad at it at all.
I'd be mad if we sign any defensive coordinator within the organization, man. Go out.
Hey, that's a possibility. I'm just saying that is a humongous possibility. Now, I heard a rumor. I don't know how true this is, but I heard a rumor that Vrabel was going to look at Bill O'Brien. I heard a rumor, but then of course he signed with Alabama, so I don't know how true that is. But hey, so M Jackson 60 asks, who do you think the next DC should be, and what free agents you want us to get? So that's a twofold question. Yeah. Next DC, I would love to have Wade Phillips. I would love to have Anthony Lynn. I think Anthony Lynn is either off OC or DC.
He's an OC.
I will have him on the office. I don't care. Have him on the OC. We need OC. Todd Bowles. I wouldn't mind having Todd Bowles, which I know he ain't gonna leave. Some of those personnel from the Tampa Bay. I would like to promote one of them brothers from the for a DC position. Yes. I just right now it's hard to gauge the Titans. It's really hard to gauge them. I have a wish list, but it's hard to gauge them. For free agents, I would love to bring in Will Fuller.
Yep.
And I'm just going realistically, who we have ties with, right? He played for the Texans. He played for Coach Vrabel was with him in Houston. I would love Curtis Samuels. Great point. I would also love to get Godwin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a receiving option. I would love him. On defense, I would love to get one of those top notch edge rushers. I don't even know who's coming out for the edge spot on defense for free agents this year, so I really can't answer that. But I know offensively I got a wish list. What about you, Hawk? Lovie Smith for defense DC too. I like that as well. AZ.
I like Lovie Smith too. And I appreciate that, AZ Mick. I agree. Lovie Smith is someone I even mentioned in a previous show, someone I'd be interested in. A lot of the good defensive coordinators have been picked up already. There's still some left. Mm-hmm. And M. Jackson, you're right. Terrell Austin is the guy from Pittsburgh who's still out there, right? Austin, yep. But I would like to get a guy, I know Todd Bowles is already the defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Bucs, and he'll probably look for a head coaching job, which he should get another opportunity to do. But I want a defensive coordinator that's going to come in and change everything on the defense. Mm-hmm. Look at Tampa. You look at the Rams. You look at the Packers. You look at teams in the playoffs. The Saints, they're out now. They are wild. They play with heart. Mm-hmm. They were showing where Michael Thomas for the Saints was mean-mugging the Tampa Bay defense before the game. And every player from Tampa Bay got in Michael Thomas's face and told him about himself. You know how many catches Michael Thomas had? The guy that had over 160 catches the year before? He had 0. They wasn't scared of him. That's the type of defense coordinator that we need. Mm-hmm. We want somebody that's going to come in and change everything. We're not going to be a melancholy, chill defense. We're going to come and we're going to sit there. We're going to ball out. We actually have the personnel. We got guys that are not scared. Jeffrey Simmons ain't scared. Malcolm Butler's not scared. Kevin Byers not. These guys aren't scared. They were lost. They didn't know what to do. That's like a kid that's 8 years old living by himself, right? With no father in the house or no parent in the house. So I think, man, get a guy that's, that's up and coming, that's on a good defense already. When you look at Tampa Bay, you look at, even the Mike Caldwell is the linebackers coach for Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? That could be a good look. Or even, Tampa Bay, when you look at, I'm trying to think of his name. They have several guys. Casey Rogers, that's their defensive line coach. Now, short story, I was telling Jacques, I played college football, and Casey Rogers was our defensive tackle coach at that time. He was wild then. Look, Tampa Bay is number 1 in the league in defense, rush defense 2 years in a row. That's the type of guy that we need. We do miss Kerry Combs, as Chris Harp says, a guy that brings energy. So as far as free agents, it is early. I would love
realistic,
to have a pass rusher, man.
You said who?
I would love to have a pass rush if we could. I know.
Biblical Beast is throwing out some names: Leonard Ford, Bud Dupree. Can we afford them though?
Leonard Ford would be available. Floyd would be available.
Can you afford
money at the end of the day? And I don't, y'all. I hate to say this. I mean, based on Jadeveon Clowney, that could be a situation where we can afford one, but there's not a lot of money flying around, and the salary cap is going down next year.
$6 million
down.
Hey, we only got $6 million, dog. $6 million.
Yep. It's not a lot of money. But mark my words, I want a guy, a defensive coordinator, comes in and brings energy. Just watch Tampa play Green Bay and even watch Green Bay's defense. Watch what I tell you.
Right. Cordero said what Upload was talking about. Great show. Shout out to Titan Upload about Hugh Jackson coming in for the OC. I would love it. I would love it. Bring him in. Bring him in. Like bring him in tomorrow. But it's just they're moving like turtles, man. They dragging their feet trying to get people in there. At least interview. That would give me hype. Interviewing, right? Ryan Kerrigan. Hey, solid. He's affordable too, right? He's affordable.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look at this comment right here, bro. M Jackson 60.
Yep, I would. I would too. He equates to first. Hey, trade him.
Yep.
You can have my second round pick next year too.
Yep. If they're not going to do this, so let's get that clear. But if they did that,
hypothetically speaking,
offer a very favorable deal, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't gonna happen though. It's not gonna happen. What's up, Jeff Benedict? What's good, bro? It ain't gonna happen though. But Deshaun Watson, who have I said has been the best player in the AFC South, dog?
What?
I have been saying it. I know people are going to say Derrick Henry, man, but it's a quarterback over running back all day, man. A quarterback's going to be in the league 15 years, man. Deshaun Watson's a freaking prop. He's a beast. A trash team, and he was unstoppable. We had Deshaun Watson and Derrick Henry. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. Ain't no stopping us. Yeah, ain't no stopping. Have A.J. Brown and you bring in Fuller, too? Ain't no stopping us.
Yeah.
We Kansas.
A hell of a point. They would never trade him in our division. They don't. Actually, if you don't put him on the Titans, get him in the NFC West. Get him back to 49 or something. Get him on out of here, man. I don't want to see no Deshaun Watson, man.
They talking about the Jets, so I
get him on up there.
Hey,
go on to New York.
Hey, give him competition with that in that division against the Bills.
Yep. Right. Exactly. Yep. Great comment,
man. Right. Who is KC? I agree. Who is KC? Definitely. Hey, so I got a question for everybody. First round pick. And I think that's where we're going to have to go to get talent. Who is everybody drafting in the first round? I'll go with you, Hawk. You got any names that you seen out there that done caught your fancy?
There are several. And those in the comment section, if you guys want to, throw some names out there. There have been several. I will tell you, I do not think this is a great draft class. I think if anything at this spot at 22, I'd like to get a D tackle, man. I would love to get a pass rusher, man, but it's very hard to get a pass rusher at 22 and be like, he's going to be a beast. I told Jacques about, Azeez Ojulari. I didn't know much about him prior to watching the bowl game when Georgia was playing against Cincinnati. I was like, who is 13? This guy's all over the field. Who is this guy? Then I start seeing him on draft boards. And I think he's a heck of a player. He's very young, and he's not really a big guy either. He's more of a quick DN, kind of like a Harold Landry, but more, got more speed. But I would say, man, if anything, bro, give me the fattest, strongest, meanest defensive tackle in the draft. Now, the one guy that I do like is from Florida State, number 21. I'm trying to think of his name. You remember his name?
DB? Oh, was he a linebacker?
He's a D tackle.
I forgot it because I sent the information to you about him.
Exactly. I'm trying to see if I can pull him up here on my phone.
Donnie says Rossi. The problem with Rossi, I like Rossi. Don't get me wrong. That joke. I think Rossi. Who?
Marvin Wilson.
Okay.
Hey, for those that watch some highlight of that joker, he's a big mean joker. But go ahead, man.
So I'm just going through some of these comments and looking at Rossi, and I think Rossi's out of Miami.
Yes, he is out of Miami. Yeah.
He's about 6'7". Okay, I've seen tape on him. He doesn't have a lot of.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Pete. He doesn't have a lot of, a lot of right ends and left ends and D tackles and just defensive line players have that second push to him, right? That second, that extra pass rush ability, those extra hands, getting you here, those extra maneuvers. He's just big. He's big, long. He has length. And that's a guy that I can see John Robinson drafting just off of size alone. He's 6'7", okay? We don't have a lot of height on the defensive line. It'll be a dope pickup because, hey, he'll go on double teams. I also I want a playmaking linebacker, man. I know the kid from Penn State. I know he won't be there. I definitely know he won't be there. Also, receivers, Rashad Bateman. I don't know if anybody ever heard of Rashad Bateman from Minnesota.
I've seen him play, man.
Hey, I like the kid.
I do too.
Like the kid. Rashad Bateman,
He's not
man.
as big as A.J. Brown, but they kind of play the same.
They play the same. He has speed. His route running ability is spot on. I love it. And JS75, hey, good pass rusher as well. Jalen Phillips. They putting out some names, man. Putting out some names. Like some good, Patrick Jones from Pitt. I like him. You know I've been advocating for Patrick.
Right.
You know I like Patrick Jones, man. Patrick Jones, he has the pass rush ability, and Pitt breeds pedigree, man. Look at all the pass rushers that come out of Pitt, guys. Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? You can go down the list. So, but I would love to have a playmaking linebacker, man. I would. I would. I just would.
I totally agree. And folks, we as far as what we're saying now could change dramatically as time goes on, in the draft, because we have players that are going to be gone. So we know we lose Corey Davis. I might be telling you we need a receiver first round. Same with tight end, right?
I'm telling you. Hey, we need a receiver. And the thing about Ross, he's very raw. He is very, very raw. When I look at tape with him, he is super raw. I mean, the length is out of this world, man. The Joker's wingspan is ridiculous.
Right.
So, but that's a guy that I can see John Robinson saying, oh, and Aziz. I can see Aziz too. I mean, Aziz, he has that energy. The energy. What up, Engraven?
What's up, Engraven? What's good, bro? What's good, man? Sorry about your loss last week, sir.
Yeah. Aziz has that energy, man. His energy is very, 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 very just contagious. And I just think he just has that one move. He needs to add more moves to his arsenal. But once he becomes like a professional in his second year, he can very, really, really irrigate. And Damon, exactly. Patrick Jones. I'm telling you, man, people, if you haven't seen tape on Patrick Jones, go look at some tape and film on Patrick Jones.
Pittsburgh's, their front three are all first and second round picks.
Yes.
Their front three, their D-line is ridiculous.
Yes.
They're the best D-line in the league in college football overall as a group. And the one thing that I've noticed about defensive tackles right now, there are not a lot of heavy guys, a lot of lean guys, 6'5", 300, 290. Mm-hmm. I would think, to me, probably the best D tackle is Barmore from Alabama. He's probably the best one. He's a monster. But he won't be there at 22.
No,
he'll be top 10.
Hey, realistically, at 22, we're looking. I mean, you can pick a receiver. Shout out to Engraven, man.
Bro. Hey, man, we know how it feels to be on the couch now, man. We sit down.
Hey, it does. It's trash.
Yep.
A receiver will be there. This is not a heavy receiver draft. And you got Chase from LSU, which you do. You got the two cats from Alabama, but receiver will be there. Maybe D tackle. You have an opportunity. One of the D line. You mean it's some quality you can get at 22, but I would like to get a linebacker, playmaking linebacker at 22 would be off the chain But let me say this: whatever position, it's going to be a unique year because each year we lose one position to free agency. Last year was Jack Conklin, and your brother called it, Hawk, that we were going to get a tackle in the draft. Mm-hmm. And, of course, a corner when we lost Logan Ryan. Each year, when we lose that position, we draft that position. This year, it's going to be unique because we can use tight end. We can lose our linebacker. We can lose receiver. It's just so many positions. So don't be surprised. Which one do we prioritize first, right? Do you prioritize offense? Do we prioritize defense? What do we do? Elijah Moore from Ole Miss is another one. Hey, you got some decent receivers out there that can fill that second slot. But even with rookie receivers, if they're not Justin Jefferson, you can. It's a hit or miss.
And most aren't. It's very hard to count on a rookie wide receiver, man. Literally,
right. That's why I said Fuller. You got a shot. You have a shot at Fuller. You have a shot at Godwin, right? Humphreys, you're paying a lot of money to. Do we bring back Humphreys? Do we restructure his contract? Right.
Right.
I wouldn't mind having Allen Robinson here. Imagine Allen Robinson and AJ Brown.
Allen Robinson gonna be like, come
the paycheck. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So I mean, some people gonna have to restructure their contracts. I mean, Yeah, you might have to ask Taylor. Hey, you might have to restructure. Butler's gonna have to restructure his. I think they'll keep Butler, but he's gonna have to restructure, especially if you're a team guy. Restructure your contract, bro. Bring that down to at least like 3 or 4. Get you a little 10 mil out of it, right? You're still getting paid.
But he and 95% of players, it
Ain't
depends
gonna
on
want to do it.
Ain't gonna want to do it. It depends on how much you're talking about, of course, right?
Right.
And at the same time, can you blame them? You know, it's like your job coming up to you, hey man, you need to take this off of your salary or whatever.
Right.
Now you have
I got a family they got to feed.
Exactly.
Dub, exactly. That's why I'm saying we have to build through the draft. This draft is very important because
it is important, bro.
You have to plug and play. It ain't no sitting. It's not no doing none of that. Plug and play. You have to play day one. So,
yep. See, at 22, man, like I do think linebacker is a really good spot at 22. Even and I know Engraven's on here as well. You know, they drafted Queen last year out of LSU. Devin White played at LSU as well too. Even Phillips, who's from Nashville, who's a linebacker for the Cleveland Browns, he got drafted at later in the first, early second. I would love to get somebody like a Devin White. You know, I have to look more into linebackers to see if there's anyone. I haven't seen anyone like Devin White in the draft.
Penn State. Forgot the kid from Penn State, but he ain't gonna be. He gone.
He won't be there, right? He won't
He's
be
gone.
Michael Parsons. I've seen him.
Yeah, Michael Parsons.
I seen him last year in a game, and I was like, "Who's number 11?" He's making plays all over the field, come to find out, high draft pick.
You see how he shoots the gap. You see how he shoots the gap when it's time to go. That's what type of linebacker I want.
That's right. And Michael Parsons kind of plays like that. You know, that's kind of his game. I don't think he's as crazy as Devin White, though. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Isaiah Simmons. You know, they're athletes. They're tall and fast. Isaiah Simmons, for those who don't know, plays at Arizona. He played at Clemson. He was a top linebacker last year. Ran like a 4-4 linebacker.
Right.
But I want a guy that's running all over the field, man. And, like I said, just –
Now – I can't say about this class, and shout out to Donnie, man. You're right. Will Fuller will keep the defense and 2 safeties the whole game. Exactly.
We got a Kyle Pitts comment. Of course, we're in the SEC country. We know about some Kyle Pitts, man.
Yes, we know about that.
Far.
Man, hey, if he drops, draft him. If that's a playmaker, day one that you can plug in right away, literally draft him. But with this draft, I see a lot of the young men, they're not stars, but they have energy, right? They don't stop on the point of attack. They keep going. I think that's what a lot of teams are going to have to look at. You have to look at tape heavy. It's going to be a heavy tape draft, and you're going to really have to look at pro days. I think that you can go to pro days too. Right. So, and what happened to Jeff Okudah? He got hurt. He got hurt, and plus you didn't have no offseason. No offseason for these rookies to develop.
Right.
I mean, that's what happens. I mean, you have to have training camp, mini camp, rookie camp to get in here and really get some reps in. Reps are valuable in this game. I don't care if you play on high school, NFL, semi-pro, pee-wee. If you don't get the reps, you're wasting your time. I mean, you can go out there and try to play backyard football. It ain't going to work. Get reps. Right. So that's what really hurt him was the reps.
That's right. So, y'all, I tell you this, man. Last year, we had a pre-draft show before the draft started. And I've seen Xavier Collins as well from Tulsa. I actually saw the Tulsa Ole Miss game with the big fight that took place. Zach was number 23, the linebacker, Xavier Collins. He was pretty good out there. Right. We spoke upon wide receiver and corner, something that we needed to draft, and if y'all watch it in archives, man, I kept screaming Justin Jefferson is who we need to draft. I kept saying Justin Jefferson. And look at this joker, right? Mm-hmm. Look at him. He's balling out of control. He's an all Pro Bowl rookie as a rookie. Ridiculous. Yep. But like I said, I would like, again, it's early, but I'm telling you as of today, January 21st, I like a pancake D tackle, like a Haloti Naha Raven fans, right? That cleared the way for Ray Lewis, right? And look at Tampa right now. Look at Green Bay right now. They got hogs in the middle, so linebackers can just run wild, right? Even the Bills, Tremaine Edmonds, he's just sitting there. You know, Edmonds is making plays all over the field because he has Ed Oliver in the front. You know what I'm saying? He has big guys up front that can control the line of scrimmage, and you can do your thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that.
Hey, and don't go out and draft another left tackle or right tackle in the first round, please. Exactly. M. Jackson, Dylan Moss, hey, same thing. Hey. There's some decent guys in this draft. And the good thing is they only played half a season, so they ain't got that too much tread on their tires, so it's really
That's
not
right.
that bad. So it's
That's
it's cool. And Sue,
I like Dylan Moses. I
I
think
do too.
it's a really good comment. Alabama is a hit or miss with linebackers. I mean, we do
Yes.
have Rashawn Evans, and ironically, Moses wears the same number as Rashawn Evans did at Alabama. That was my number too, 32. But I would say he'd be an interesting pick. I think he would be available at 22. He is their best linebacker on the team at Alabama, so we'll see.
And we like Alabama players, people.
Yeah,
You look
do.
at the pattern.
SEC
Look at the
all
pattern.
day.
We're going to get somebody from the SEC. That's hands down. So just get ready to find the best player in the SEC, and that's who the Titans are going to draft. Isaiah Wilson pointed. Sue
was a free agent because he was very close to signing with the Titans 2 years ago.
He was, and he picked Tampa.
Good choice at this point, right?
You got to go in. I wonder what they look at free agency, the demographic, where you gonna be at, Tampa versus Tennessee, who's the coordinator at the time. So I get it, but I'm like, man, Sue and Simmons, ooh, man, come on now.
Yeah, I know.
And Barrett, I think Barrett from Tampa is a free agent this year as well.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I want to say Levante David is too. I know he's getting a little older, but I think he's a free agent too.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he is. Yeah. Hey, Shaquille Barrett, hey, pick him up, bring him in. You can bring him in, but a lot of these guys are going to want to get paid. That's why I'm looking towards the draft. I just kind of know that it's going to be kind of hard to get a top-notch free agent. But Shaq Barrett, man, hey, if we can bring him in for a decent price, a reasonable price, hey, do it. Whoever's doing the accounting for the Titans, boy, he's a job. He has his work cut out for him. John J. Rob do too. So I think that's why they're taking their time and they're being methodical about it. So
yeah. And again, when you look at the salary cap, it's going down overall for the league. So it's gonna be a lot of teams in a situation where some players might not even get signed. It might be like that this year.
Right.
So, and again, when you look at the draft, what are you gonna go on? Recruits.com, I mean, what are you gonna look at film from? YouTube videos that they mom made,
right?
Right.
Well, look at the Ravens. They have they got Matabuke, I wanted last year. I love Matabuke, man.
You talked about Matabuke in our draft show, Jacques.
We did. I thought we were gonna get him. I thought we were gonna get Matabuke. I really did. I was like, hey, Matabuke's right there. Hey, we got him. Go ahead and get him. But they have free agents coming out. What's his name? He's been linked to the Titans.
Yeah, Judon.
Yeah, Judon. Right. Now I see people, hey, go pick up Judon. Judon wouldn't be bad. I mean, he's an upgrade on the line.
That's what we have now.
Hey, he'll free up some of those double teams that Simmons will get, allow Simmons to make plays, and allow Harold Landry to eat as well. So,
yep. Facts. So we'll go about another 5 to 10 minutes, y'all. We're still wanting to get, comments and questions from you guys. Again, click that like button. We'll address some questions that are being brought to us, man. We're loving this, man. You guys are very well informed, well educated upon football and the Titans. Hey, man, it goes a long way.
CJ2K, if this happens, you have upgraded your D-line. But at this point, you need to sign a defensive coordinator. That's the number one priority is the DC. We got to get a DC in here. Before we do any free agents, anything like that, you bring in a DC, then he can make these guys great. If you don't bring in a DC, and then I also think we need a defensive line coach, because when we had Jim Washburn, that's when the Titans D-line was like top notch. We led the league in sacks.
Yep.
So coaching, man. Yep.
So Max Gerard said, what did he say? Do y'all think? Yes.
Yep.
Should we switch to a 4-3 defense? Yes.
Yep.
Can I say that fast enough? Yes. Absolutely. Facts, no paper. Absolutely.
Yep. We do. Yeah, 4-3. The personnel, you succeed better in a 4-3 versus a 3-4. 3-4 is when you're in a 3-4 defense, you got to do a lot of thinking.
Yep.
A lot of thinking, a lot of moving parts. 4-3, hands in the dirt. Clowney succeed. Harold Landry succeed, because that's all they're doing is rushing the passer. You ain't got to drop back in coverage.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney played outside linebacker 6'7" out there. It was 6'6" out there. At outside linebacker. That don't even sound right.
Nope. Don't sound right at all.
Covering Antonio Brown or something. That don't even look right.
Right.
That's a joke. So we'll take 2 more comments, y'all.
Need lots of speed for a 3-4. That's exactly right, Chris. You're right. You need speed, and you don't have speed. You need speed from your linebackers. I don't know if you guys watched the game when the Ravens played the Bills. Of course, everybody watched it. And their linebacker, and I forgot his name, he made a hell of a play. Pass deflection.
Buffalo or Baltimore?
Buffalo.
Tremaine,
you know the play I'm talking about.
Evans?
No. It wasn't Tremaine. It was the other linebacker that they had.
I know what you're talking about. He's their best cover linebacker.
Yes. You need cover linebackers when you're in a 3-4, and we don't have that. I like Jayon. Jayon is about our best cover linebacker that we have.
Matt Milano.
Milano. I mean, perfect, on point. I mean, deflected the pass. It was smooth. I was like, this is what we need. This is what the Titans need. If we had this, the D line can do that thing. Linebackers can do that thing. But
right, correct. That's right. Well, we'll take one more comment. We appreciate everyone with their comments too, man. Great questions, man.
James Lane, Judon don't get a lot of sacks. I agree with that, but he's an upgrade from what we got.
Right, correct. And y'all, in the offseason, we'll have more live chop-up shows and everything, discussing a lot of different topics and things. Yeah, I did. Okay, so Keniche Aduze did get the new assistant coach.
Okay.
He played at Vanderbilt, and I know he was coaching at who did he coach for this year? He was oh man, I can't believe it's passing me now.
I know what you're talking about. It's slipping my tongue. I know.
Yep. Thank you, 242 Titan. Thank you as well, sir. He said, "Good show, guys." Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep. But Aduze,
he was a linebacker coach.
Right. At Vandy. That's right. He was at Vanderbilt. Duh, right across the same street. Okay.
So we have a question here. Do you guys think we should have more power scheme on offense or more speed and finesse this upcoming season?
That's a great question, man.
Ooh.
I think more speed.
I agree.
So check this out. So I told Jacques this, and tell me if you guys agree with this in the comment section. This is outside of the box thinking when you think of Derrick Henry. 2 things I'd like to see. One, even though we stopped running Deontay Foreman for some reason, I told Jacques, I said, man, I think Deontay Foreman is a hell of a backup running back. I felt when he was running the ball, he was being very efficient. But if you don't bring it back, bring in like a Mark Ingram from the Ravens, right? Bring him in as a backup running back. But, have someone else to shoulder that burden at times if he's getting gassed. But more than that, take that aside. I would like to see the Titans bring Derrick Henry more in the passing game. What do y'all think about that? Right? Because everyone knows when 22's in the game, we're going to run the ball. If we do pass, it's going to be play action, right? Baltimore caught on to that. That's why they beat us. They clearly got the blueprint to beat the Tennessee Titans. That's a fact. Put Derrick Henry in passing situation. Throw him some screens. Throw him in different combinations of passing the ball. Have Derrick Henry work on his hands. I saw towards the end of the season, every so he might get one catch here, one catch there. But I would like to see Derrick Henry get about 40 catches next year. You know what I'm saying? I really would like to see that. I would, man. So, y'all tell me what y'all think on that, man.
I agree, but is he built for passing and catching? I mean, he can work on it, but then you're asking him to do double the load, right? Yep. You ask him to run and catch, which he should. He should do that. Now, they did spread him out wide a lot. They did do that. Do I trust Derrick Henry on a fade route? Nah. Maybe crossing route? Maybe.
In space,
yeah.
Yep.
But scheme wise, yes, I want speed. I want to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I want a good mix. If anybody does like fish reefing, you got a mixed reef. I want a mix of both and everything. I think we need speed next year. Speed. That's why I said Will Fuller. Will Fuller gives you that speed element where he can take the top off of defense, right?
Right. Correct.
He push that threat. So scheme, I would like speed. We got power already. We just need to add speed to it.
That's right.
And Hawk, you want to ask Damon? Hey,
Damon Beverly.
Super chat.
What's good, bro? What's happening, David Beverly? How you doing, sir, man? Hey, we always appreciate your support, man. Thank you for the super chat. The next show will be at some point next week, whether it be Wednesday or Thursday. We'll definitely put it out on Twitter and on YouTube. We'll definitely have a show next week, man. We'll give you enough time to let you know when the show is on, man.
Hey,
So
we got content, guys. Let me say this. We have content when it's Tennessee Titans Weekly. We're going to have content weekly. So we got some good things lined up. So we're here. We're here.
That's right. That's right. So thank you, Damon Beverly. Thank you.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you for the super chat.
Yes, sir. Somebody said Derrick Henry on a slant will look hilarious.
It would. I mean, literally, like he's running.
Oh, no, that's funny.
He's running, then boom. Because you know when he turns, he don't turn his neck. He turns his whole shoulder.
He got all that hair in the back, man. He got to turn that hair around like this.
He's like this. Dude. So
yeah.
I agree. Blasting game needs to be more involved. I do agree. Agree.
Titan weeks, yes.
That's right. Maybe it'll change on offense. Maybe we'll open up the floodgates a lot more and take a lot more shots downfield. That was my complaint. I wanted to take a little bit more shots downfield. And if we can bring in the person that'll do that, I think we'll be okay. So
that's a fact. So, well, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends our show, y'all. We kindly appreciate everybody, man, tuning in, man. We still have 46 people watching the show, man. We kindly appreciate that, man. More than you know, dude. Make sure to hit that like button as well. We love doing the live chop up, man. This is fun to us. It's therapy for us too, because we love talking football, man. I mean, Hey, all the things going on in the world and things, good, bad, or whatever, football is always a common situation, man. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can definitely hit us up on Instagram and follow us at Tennessee Titans Weekly, as well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. And even on email at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com.
And I also say every show, man, like, share, cut your notification bells on. It's by the subscribe button that lets you know when we go live, when we about to post any content. And also, I say this every show. Hey, share it, tell your cousin, your auntie, your dog, your cat. Shout out to Danko Harris, man, who shares the show on LinkedIn. So shout out to you, brother. That's unique. I never seen that. So share it on LinkedIn. Share it on all platforms, man. But guys, we really appreciate the love and the energy, and we trying to come up with like a new Tennessee Titans Weekly family. We ain't came up with a name yet, but hey, you guys rock with us, and if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be here. So we really appreciate it, man. We just gonna keep bringing the content and keep bringing that Titans love, man, and tighten up, guys, and be safe.
That's right. So I'm gonna look at some of these comments, man, as far as closing out, man. Hey, tighten up, brother. C-Dub, we appreciate it.
Hey, Mick, appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, sir. Same for Chris Hart. My boy AZ Mick, what's good? Sadaro Bobo, what's good? Thank you, sir. Donnie D, thank you as well. Who else we got in here? C-Dub again. Okay, there's C-Dub. Great show. Thank you, good sir. 242. Tighten up. AZ Mick, you say tighten up. Max DeBraw, tighten up. That's right, man. That's right. And next week, we'll talk even more about, thank you, CJ2K, about the NFL playoffs. We'll kind of talk about that too, as the championship games are being played this weekend. And real quick before we leave, man, I just love talking football. So we got Tampa Bay, Green Bay, we got Buffalo, Kansas City. Jacques, you gotta let me know your predictions, sir. Thank you, Fox.
Predictions. Okay. So we're gonna go Buffalo KC first.
Okay.
If Patrick Mahomes doesn't play, he's hurt, his foot. I'm not talking about the concussion, but his foot. I think that's going to impact the game, man. I think that's going to impact the game like on a big scale. And I think the Buffalo Bills, if they don't make any mistakes, they can stick with it. They can stick in this. But I hate to say this, man. I'm going to go with KC on this one. Just because the experience, they've been here before. This will be a pressure on the Bills to win a big game, right?
Yep.
And that's not going to be easy for them. They're a mature team. They've been in the playoffs, but the AFC Championship, they haven't been here in a while, man. So I have KC winning, but by a small margin. We go to the NFC. I look at the pack, and it's going to be the game of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Now, Tampa did beat the Packers early in the season, but we know how things are different. That don't mean nothing, right? But the way Tampa is playing, and I've said this, I said if Tampa wakes up, it's going to be dangerous. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, both have great defenses. Tampa Bay has a wild defense. Of course, Green Bay has that boy, Their receiver, Devontae, they got him. Adams, I mean, they do their thing. But I feel like Tampa Bay's defense is coming on at the right time. And I feel like Tampa Bay actually might win this game. And it's a good storyline. Kansas City versus Tom Brady, get his 7th ring, blah, blah. So I'm actually in that game. This going to sound crazy, but I'm actually taking the Packers. You thought I was going to take the Buccaneers, didn't you? I'm going for the Buccaneers. I'm actually rooting for the Buccaneers. Okay. But I just think the way Rodgers and them is playing, and they playing out their mind, they got the run game, something that Tampa don't have, something that Kansas City doesn't have, something that the Bills don't have. Right. They don't have run game. So for me, I want Tampa to win, but realistically, I see the Packers winning this game, and I see KC winning in the AFC. What about you?
So I would say this, man. When I look at the Buffalo Kansas City game, it's based on Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Just like in math, you got to look at in that equation, what's X? What does X equal, right? And that's simple algebra. If X equals Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs will win the football game. If it does not, they will lose the football game. As you mentioned about his toe. I saw him running today. They were showing some highlights of him running. It looked to be okay, but it's different in practice than on the game field. Even if his toe is still bothering him, I still think they're good enough to beat the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going Kansas City Chiefs in this, unless Mahomes is out, which he won't be. He'll be on the field. Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City will win. I'm going Tampa Bay over Green Bay, man. I am. I like Tampa's energy. Their front seven, as someone just mentioned, Chris Harp is ridiculous.
Yep.
Their defense is unbelievable. I know Green Bay's offense is unbelievable as well. But I'm telling you, man, what's going to be crazy is, and JS75 just took the words out of my mouth, man.
They be playing at home.
Tampa makes it to the Super Bowl. They're playing in Tampa at home. And I think that's going to be a motivating factor. It's like, man, guys, we win this game. We're going to play the Super Bowl at home. No one's ever done this. Let's make history. And I think they're good enough on offense. I think they'll get it together, and I think they'll beat the Green Bay.
Shout out to my boy Gus, too, man. He's a huge Buccaneers fan. I'm rooting for Tampa. I want Tampa to win. Like, hopefully prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, right? So
Yeah, man. So, well, all right, guys. We're signing off. Have a great day, great night, great weekend. Watch you some good football. Drink you a beer too, man. Have a great day, man. We'll talk to y'all.
Tighten up.
Tighten up.